Alrighty. Should be good to go now. Just refresh, make sure everything's coming through loud and clear. Check the audio real quick. Seems to be doing fine. Sounds like my fan might be causing a little bit of that might be picked up on the mic. Alright. Should be good to go though. And just to make sure, yeah, it looks like our stream info is all correct. We are going to be playing Balatro today, similar to last Sunday. If you don't know, Balatro is a poker-based roguelike. Essentially what that means is you're going to go through run after run, each run starting basically from scratch, and you're going to have a starting deck similar to a lot of these deck builder roguelikes, where basically you can add to or remove from the starting deck, as well as increase your ability to get points with things called jokers. There's these planet cards that can make certain hands better. Again, it's a poker-based roguelike, so your goal is to play, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house, things like that. And you can have certain hands work better for your deck than others. You can try to go all in on, flushes, or you can try to do flushes and straights and so forth. So far, we've been doing mostly kind of like focusing on one hand for each run, but we'll see how it goes today. Starter up. Last week we started doing some runs with the abandoned deck. Okay, good. We did some runs with the abandoned deck. Essentially, the decks all have kind of slightly different starting bonuses. So, for instance, you have the red and blue decks are kind of the most basic. These are just, you can play one extra hand every round, or you can use one extra discard each round, but they can each, and yellow decks are also pretty simple. You can start with some extra money to buy stuff at the shop. Each time you start a run, like I said, you start with a base deck and can add and remove from it. Most of the base decks are all the same, a 52 card poker deck with 4 suits and 13 cards, or sorry, 14 cards in each suit. Wait, no, 13. 13 was correct. I was right the first time. 13 cards in each suit, 4 suits. A few of the decks are slightly different. As we saw last week, we used the abandoned deck, which has no face cards. So it's actually a different size deck. Still 4 suits, but there's just no face cards. No jack, queen, or king. The deck we're going to be starting with today is the checkered deck, which does have face cards, but instead only has 2 suits. As you can see, only spades and hearts are in the deck, 26 of each, meaning I assume, I haven't played with this yet, but I assume you have 2 of each number value for each of the 2 suits. So that would mean 2 of spades, 2 3 of spades, so far, so on and so forth. So we're going to be starting with this today. With the checkered deck, I assume are going to want to try to get flushes. Flushes when you have a 5-card hand that all has the same suits. Not only is that seeming to be easier with this deck only having 2 suits, but also it is one of the better multipliers, just base multipliers. It's, the only things that better are full house, 4 of a kind, and straight flush, which I guess we can also look for some straight flushes. That would also be one to go for. But seemingly these are significantly harder than the straight flush and flush as far as the high multipliers go. So we're probably going to be focusing on those. Now, if you hadn't seen my last stream last week, I'll kind of just go over the basics. Like I said, it's a roguelike, which entails, like I said, a starting deck, adding to and removing from. You have joker slots up here that can improve your multipliers to get more points. They can also do other things to benefit you, like get you more money to spend at the shops, things like that. Over here is our consumable slots. The consumable slots are things that are like one-time use, and we can hold 2 at a time and use them whenever. Most of them just change the cards in our deck, but a few of them are unique. Some of the tarot cards give money, some of them can give you other cards that you've previously played, such as planet cards. Right now you can see all of our hands are level 1. Planet cards are going to increase these levels to 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, increasing the multiplier and base chips each time. The basic structure of runs in Balatro is there are one, where you can see here we're at 1 of 8 ante. Or actually, maybe you can't see that because my chat box is in the way. I should fix that. But in any case, here, actually real quick, I'll just move this just for a second. So you can see that's the money. This is our hands and discards that we have available to us each round. And then this is the ante we're on. The ante we're on is essentially, if you've played other roguelike, it's like the floor or the level we're on. There's 8 levels or 8 antes. Each one's slightly harder than the last in that the amount you need, the amount of points you need or chips to get through the round is higher on each ante. So as you can see, to start we have just 300 chips, 450 and 600. Once we beat the boss blind of this ante, the next 3 that it shows us, the next 3 blinds that it shows us, will be more. So it'll go from this to 600 or something. So we need more and more chips each ante, and yeah, basically the goal is to get through all 8 antes without ever finding a blind where we can't meet the required number of chips before running out of playable hands. Like I said, we have 4 playable hands, so if we can't get let's say 600 chips with 4 hands played, then we lose and we'll have to start over. One of the main mechanics of each ante is you must fight this third one. This is called the boss blind. It's required to pass to the next ante. The other 2 are not required, so you can fight them, and if you do, you'll get some money as a reward. As you can see here, you get $3 for beating the small, 4 for the big. You also are going to get interest for every $5 you have already. You're going to get an extra $1 up to 5. So max interest is if you have 25 or more dollars, you'll get $5 of interest. So every time you beat a blind, you get paid out in a monetary reward, and then you get access to the shop where you can spend that money. And that money can be spent on things like jokers, consumable cards, so you can fill up these top slots up here. You can also buy more cards for your deck. You can also buy vouchers. Vouchers are basically, I haven't redeemed any yet this run obviously, but they basically are permanent buffs that will just be with you for the rest of the run. So they're quite valuable. They are $10 each. Each voucher is, that is. So they're kind of expensive, but if you buy them, you have the money to do so, it's usually worth it, especially if they're a good one, because you have the benefit for the rest of the run. But like I was saying, the blinds are not necessarily things you have to play against. You can if you want to get the monetary reward for beating them. However, you can use this skip blind button underneath each one, which will give you some sort of benefit, but you don't get the benefit of getting the money and going to the shop. So for instance, in this one, this is a benefit where the next shop we go to has a free joker that is foil. And foil means that the joker, in addition to his normal text, also just gives us plus 50 chips on each hand we play. Similarly, this one does basically the same thing, except for instead of foil, it's holographic, which means instead of adding 50 to the blue, it adds 10 to the red, the multiplier. Both of these are pretty good. I think that in general, getting early jokers that are both free and obviously are better than just their base stats are pretty valuable. I would say both these are very tempting to use, to skip. However, like I said, the interest that you get is dependent on what money you already have, and it's a little hard to build up interest if you just skip both of the first 2 blinds, because then you don't, you only start with $4, so you don't get interest until basically ante 2, and it can definitely stunt your money. However, seeing as these are both very powerful skips, it's entirely possible that that is worth it. I'm not actually sure. I don't, sorry, I was looking at the bitrate. It's being weird again. Although it doesn't appear to be laggy, so should be good. I won't mess with it. But as I was saying, I think it's probably entirely acceptable to just skip. Probably have to use all 4 hands to beat this. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention, when you get the monetary value at the end, you get the reward. Not only do you get the 3, 4, or 5, depending on which blind it is, not only do you get the interest, but you also get an extra $1 for each remaining hand you had left over. So you start with 4 playable hands each round. If you only need to use 1, let's say, you get 3 extra dollars. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that if your hands are doing really well, they're getting a lot of chips, it actually kind of translates to getting more money to spend at the shop because you don't have to play all your hands. I actually am going to try it. I'm going to try just skipping both these and trying to play a couple flushes, hopefully only 2 or 3 flushes at the psychic, the boss blind of this ante, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm actually going to skip both of the first 2 blinds, and we'll see if it treats us well. Sorry. Also, it looks like my cursor isn't being entirely, how should I say, stuck to my one monitor here. It kind of seems to be able to go through to my other monitor. That may or may not be a problem, but we'll just work with it for now, and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. So like I say, we're going to try it for flushes here. So we'll just start by playing our flush of these 5. This should be pretty easy because, like I said, there's only 2 suits in the deck, so the likelihood of drawing a flush is pretty high. Although somehow we've gotten 4 and 4 in our 8-card hand, so that's not great. Another thing to keep in mind also is that the value of each card matters. So the base multiplier for a flush, for example, is 35 times 4. So obviously jokers can affect that, but just even the cards can affect that. So what'll happen is it'll have 35 times 4 up there, and then on the chip side, it'll add each of the chip values of the cards. So it is better, obviously, than to play higher value cards if you can. Oh, well, that was unfortunate. I guess how many hearts? We have more hearts left. Okay, well, let's just card all my spades then. I'm hoping to get it in just one more hand. So you'll see here, it's 35 times 4, but then it'll add all my chip values to the chip amount before multiplying it. Okay, we're 4 chips short. That stinks, because like I said, that basically loses us $1, because we have to use 1 extra hand to beat the blind, but that's okay. $1 shouldn't hurt us too bad in the long run. Okay. One other downside, kind of a hidden downside, I would say, to skipping the first 2 blinds is we don't get to see the voucher for this ante. Each ante, you get offered a different voucher, and so if you don't buy the voucher before you get to the next ante, as you can see, we're already on ante 2 because we've beaten the boss. This shop actually has a different voucher here. It's the ante 2 voucher, as you can read here, meaning that we didn't even get to see what the ante 1 voucher even was. But again, I think it's probably still worth it overall because we get 2 free jokers. I'll go ahead and buy this. This is a good first voucher to buy because it will decrease the cost of all future shops. This joker gains +2 multiplier per reroll in the shop. Okay, that's also a good one to start with because it'll scale as we go throughout the game. Every time we hit the reroll button in the shop, this gets better and better. And our other one is this joker gains +3 multiplier when any booster pack is skipped. Again, a scaling Joker, so it'll get better and better as the game goes on. Pretty happy with that. Moving on to Ante 2. Upgrades 4 of a kind and a free uncommon Joker. This is pretty useless for us. We're never really going to be going for 4 of a kind this run, so I'll definitely play this blind. This should be pretty easy because even without these scaling Jokers having any multiplier, they also just base because like this one's foil, plus 50, and this one's holographic, so plus 10. There's essentially just a huge benefit without even having, you know, the Jokers themselves doing anything. Simply because we used the skipping the blinds to make them very powerful, so we should, yeah, so as you can see here, 1700 chips from that one hand is way more than enough to beat the 800 necessary, which is why I went ahead and went for the double skip in Ante 1, because we're so strong now that we kind of just blaze through this next Ante, and probably even the next one after. These aren't great. I think I'm gonna just not spend any money because, again, we need our interest. We're at $6, so we need to save money so we can start building up interest. This one is interesting. It's another free Joker. This one not special in any way, but it is guaranteed uncommon. However, I kind of want to just make some money right now, so I am actually going to not skip this one either. And once again, we'll just be going for flushes as they're the easiest to go for. This also shows you how many of each hand you've played so far this run, and can be beneficial to zero in on the hand you want to start using even early, because even though right now it kind of doesn't really matter what hands we play as long as we get enough points, there is a voucher that makes it so that all the planet cards, or all the planet packs that you get, are guaranteed to have the ability to upgrade the hand that you've played the most. So it's important that we play flushes the most, even though currently it doesn't matter which hand we've played the most, it can later. All cards are considered face cards. That's interesting. Not something that I really care about. We're at $14 here. This is interesting. We'll go ahead and buy a pack. Creates a random Joker. That's quite good. Enhances cards to multi-cards. Enhances cards to bonus cards. Destroys cards. And random. I think our best bet is just to get a random Joker. And we get the ice cream. Plus 100 chips, minus 5 chips for every hand played. Interesting. I take it that means every hand played that round? Or is this just total, it'll just keep getting worse and worse? Because if so, that's not great. In any case, we'll move on to the boss of Ante 2. Again, this shouldn't be too hard, especially now that we have plus 100 chips base. I mean, that just seems kind of like a freebie. Go ahead and discard to get a 5th heart. And should just have it with this one hand. Yeah, so it looks like that this Joker is just permanently gonna get worse and worse as we play hands. Yeah, that's not too bad though. I mean, it basically is gonna be like a power boost so that we can get through the next couple antes basically for free. So I'm not too worried about it. Our new voucher is +1 hand size. This is quite good because it means that we have a higher chance of finding the flushes without using our hands or discards. However, we already are pretty set on that, so it's possible I want to hold off for now. Although I don't really see anything else in here that I particularly want, so let's go ahead and buy this. And I'll buy that as well as the pack here. Now the nice thing about the pack is even if we don't get the flush upgrade, which we don't, if we skip, because we really don't care about 2 pair or straight or 3 of a kind, like none of these are going to do anything for us. If we skip this, this is gonna be a better multiplier. So we skip. Now you can see it says +3 instead of +0. So that means we're gonna have even easier time getting through the next few blinds. No repeat hand types this round. This can be scary because if we're going all in on one hand type, we can only play, you know, one flush. But as I say, we are having no trouble getting our chip amounts way higher than what is necessary. So hopefully this shouldn't be too bad. I'm guessing. I should have been paying attention. I didn't see how many chips we had from last round, but it's possible we could do the double skip again if we're close enough to hitting 4,000 with a single hand. Let's skip this one and play this one just to see what we're working with chip-wise. So we have a flush here. They have plus 95 chips. We should be able to get to 3,000 pretty easily, I would say. Doesn't seem like it'll be too challenging here. Where are we at? 3,500, and this is now at plus 90. Okay, so we're close. We're close to getting to 4,000 with a single hand. The good news is if we get close, we can just, you know, throw together some not flush hands and probably be fine anyway. Our free uncommon joker is multiplier for each joker slots. I assume that's empty. Oh, empty joker slot. Yeah, it says so. So this is actually really, really good because, you know, plus multipliers are nice. They just kind of add to this. This is a multiplier, meaning essentially we're going to take whatever numbers here and multiply it. Right now, we should be multiplying by 2. But if we, you know, somehow are able to sell this ice cream, and I'd have to do the math, but it might be even better than plus 90 chips to just have times 3 instead of times 2 here. So right now we're at plus 90 chips, and the multiplier is sitting at 17. So we'd be adding another 17 to the multiplier rather than 90 to the chips. I don't know. It's close. It's close to the same, but I'll leave it for now. We should go ahead and buy another pack though, because if we skip the pack again, we're gonna get more multiplier on our red card joker. And no, perfect, we can skip without worrying, add more multiplier, and on to the boss. Again, we should be able to just beat it with one hand, especially with our new setup. I mean, it just shouldn't be even a challenge to get through 4,000 chips with a single hand here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spades, play that hand, and my guess is this is going to be like way more than enough than 4,000. Oh yeah. Oh my, yeah, way enough for it. More than double what we needed, in fact. Alright, excellent. None of these are particularly interesting. We could buy this. This is the ability to re-roll the boss blind once per ante for $10. Currently, the upcoming boss is 1 in 7 cards get drawn face down, but this is basically no problem for us because again, all we care about is the suit. It's even with drawing 1 in 7 cards face down, it's unlikely we'll not be able to have 5 of the same suit. So this isn't necessary for this blind, or this ante I should say, but it might be later. I'll go ahead and hold off for a second. I'll buy it at the next shop if I really feel like I need it. Aha! We finally get to upgrade our flush with the Jupiter card. So we go from level 1 flush to level 2, plus 15 base chips, plus I think 2, yeah, plus 2 base multiplier. Very good. And we might as well also just buy this playing card pack because we'll probably be able to skip it and get even more multiplier. Well, we do find a heart that we could add to our deck. It is in fact a multi-card, meaning it gives +4 to the multiplier in addition to giving +9 chips, just for being a 9. But I think instead of having +4 when I specifically play this card, it's better to have +3 when I play any card. I'm going to skip. Get another +3 multiplier and move on. This is actually really useful. So a negative tag on a Joker means that not only does it have its own normal Joker ability, but similar to these, like this is foil, this is holographic, the negative tag means you get +1 Joker slot, which essentially means it doesn't count as one of your 5 Jokers, because it takes up a Joker slot, but it gives you a Joker slot, which means that when I need to have empty Joker slots with my stencil, a negative Joker is basically the best Joker I could hope for. So I'm definitely going to play this and skip the next one, is my plan. 2, 3, 4, 5. That is actually very fortuitous that we have a negative Joker available to us. And again, hitting these blind amounts is like very trivial. Again, more than double than what we needed. We're basically in no danger right now of failing a blind. The only danger would be if we don't scale enough into the late game, or if we run into a boss that has a particularly dangerous ability for us, which is why I'm going to buy this voucher, so that we can skip said boss if it comes up. And I might as well just buy a pack that I can skip. Best case scenario, I just upgrade my flush with a Jupiter, and what do you know? There it is. Another +2 multiplier, another +15 chips. We are just as happy with that as we are with skipping, so on to the next round. Like I said, we're going to skip this blind and go straight on to the boss, so that we can get a free negative Joker. It almost doesn't even matter what the negative Joker does as well. It literally just has to be any useful ability. It doesn't have to be good or anything, because again, it doesn't count as a Joker slot, and thus is essentially free to have. What are we looking at here? 75 of 100 so far. So we're still probably happy with +75 over times an extra multiplier, but I think it's getting closer to wanting to sell this. Alright, new voucher for the next ante is +1 card slot available in the shop. That's not bad. That basically means that instead of 2 options up here, we'll have 3, which is, I think it'll apply immediately. So if I do this, I should just immediately get offered another... Aha, there it is. Okay, there's our Joker with a negative. Perfect. This is +1 multiplier per tarot card used this run. Again, not a super great ability, but because it's a negative Joker, there's no downside. We just take it, and we still have 1 empty Joker slot. So it still is ×2. So we're perfectly happy with that. We can actually use another tarot card to add to the multiplier should we see fit, but I almost don't even want to since we're above $25, which means if we don't spend any money, we get even more interest. So I'm actually going to move on. Alright. Ooh. Remember what I was saying about bosses with particularly bad abilities for us? All spade cards are debuffed. That's half of our deck. Would not work at all. Meaning that basically we'd have to only play flushes consisting of hearts, which again we can still probably do and beat it, but it's possible I should reroll this boss. Upgrade high card by 3 levels. We definitely don't want to skip that. I might skip this though, because again it's another pack that I can skip. No, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play so I can make more money. Right now we're on ante 5 of 8, so I think on our current course of scaling, we should be pretty good. The game scales the amount you need to beat each blind at a pretty consistent rate. And so I think we're pretty on track to keep meeting the scaling requirements. $11 in the bank. I think at this point, now that this ice cream is down to plus 70 chips, I think it is probably better just to have our multiplier be times 3 instead of times 2. So I believe I am going to sell that. This is interesting. The Abstract Joker gives a multiplier addition for each filled Joker slot. So basically the opposite of the Stencil Joker. This one wants us to have empty Joker slots. This one wants to have filled Joker slots. However, say I sell this ice cream. This is currently times 3. So we're at 8 multiplier base, plus 19 for this Joker, so that's 27. Plus 1 from here, 28. So essentially, if we buy another Joker, we're minus 28 from this one, because we'll go from times 3 to times 2. So instead of 28 times 3, 28 times 2, so we're minus 28. So yes, we actually would be gaining plus 15 multiplier from this Joker, which is pretty good, but that's not as good as the 28 we're getting from not having any Joker at all. So this actually is kind of a bait. We don't want to buy any Jokers unless they're really good. Even this one, where played Heartsuit give plus 3, we can only play 5 cards at a time, right? So at most, this is giving plus 15. So same as this, these are both plus 15 for each hand. In fact, this one's even worse because it's only heart hands that get plus 15 multiplier, which is not as good as the 28 we're getting from having no Joker at all. But we will buy some packs, because buying packs is always good. It increases our multiplier if we skip, and it increases our multiplier if we find the Jupiter, which we did not find a Jupiter. It's possible I could try the straight flush upgrade, but it seems kind of unnecessary because we're already winning with just playing flushes. We don't have to seek out the straight flushes. So I'm actually going to skip and just add another multiplier there. And I'll go ahead and do the same thing with this pack. Again, I don't really care about what's in it. I just kind of want to skip it. And once again, I will do so. I'll skip it. I think we could try to reroll the shop just to get a little extra multiplier here, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just go to the next round. And again, this is useless. We're definitely going to play against this one too. I'm not actually sure what our chip number is going to be now, because we got rid of the ice cream. So like I said, we're minus 70 chips, but we're plus 28. Well, actually even more than 28 now, because I increased our multiplier. We're like plus 31 multiplier from getting rid of the Joker. So I imagine we're actually going to be even better off than we were a second ago. I think our last hand, we made something like 15,000 chips. Let's just see what this one is with removing one of our Jokers. Okay, we're still about the same amount. We actually just are shy. We're about, looks like 200 some shy of beating it in one hand. So this is the first blind in quite some time we've had to play more than one hand on, which is kind of scary because it means our scaling is starting to kind of, we were scaling like this and the game was scaling like this, and now they're kind of starting to meet. So we're still doing fine, but we want to make sure that we keep ahead of the curve on how quickly our points are going up compared to the points that we need to win are going up. Nope. Times 3 multiplier if you have at least 16 enhanced cards. This is an interesting rare Joker, but we have not updated our deck at all thus far, so this does nothing for us. This is also can be interesting, but not that great. I think we are better off just buying some packs. Hopefully we get a Jupiter here. We do get a Jupiter, very nice, okay. We basically only care about Jupiter when we open those Celestial packs. There's essentially no other planet card we want. Once again, I'll probably skip this. Ooh, actually. Oh, no, sorry, that's a purple seal. I thought this was a blue seal. This is a purple seal, which gives you a tarot card when discarded. Not bad or anything. Tarot cards can be good. They, in fact, increase our multiplier because of our negative Joker here. But it is not a suit that was in our deck. As you can see, we're only hearts and spades, so I would only be using this to discard. And I think there are better ways to get tarot cards, so I'm actually going to skip and just add to my multiplier. I will re-roll once. So we get +2 multiplier there. This is very good, ×3 multiplier, but only if you play a straight. So not good for us. And I don't think any of these are great. I could re-roll one more time just to add multiplier for the next round. However, if I plan on skipping this blind, but we have the same number of hearts as spades, so I think it's actually probably fine not to skip. So I actually will re-roll once more. And yep, none of those we want. So next round, we still have $25, so we are at our interest benchmark. We did not draw 5 hearts. We're going to discard some spades here. Important to note, you still can play the cards that are so-called debuffed. They just won't add their chip value or use any of their abilities. So in a pinch, we can still play 5 spades, and it won't add anything from the card values to here, but we'll still get 80 times 10 plus all our multipliers. So it's not even that much worse than just playing 5 hearts. But hopefully we can just play 5 hearts and win in one fell swoop. Aha, just barely enough. Okay, yeah, got it in one hand, so that's quite good. It may be time in the near future to consider switching out probably this Joker for something different, something that gives us a better multiplier, or even just no Joker at all, because again, it'll go in favor. Since the Joker wants us to have empty slots. Definitely want this. This is one of my favorite vouchers. It gives +1 hand per round, which means we can play 1 extra hand. But there's kind of like a subtle hidden thing that this does, because not only do you get more chances to not lose to the blind, remember you also get extra money for each remaining hand that you didn't play. So in addition to just being a nice little safety net, it also just gives you an extra $1 every round, basically. Just gonna open my pack here. Okie dokie, there's our Jupiter, very nice. Jupiter! And we're at $27, so I don't want to spend any more. I want to keep my interest going, making as much money as possible each round. All face cards are drawn face down. Again, not really a scary boss for us. We can pretty easily solve that by just discarding the face down cards and playing flushes. Both of these are quite good. This doubles my money to a max of $40. This makes all the things in the next shop free, which is less than $40 because of our voucher that cheapens things, but still is a decent amount of free money, basically. This is more free money though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this one, get my money as high as possible, and then double the money going into the next shop. So hopefully we can get $13 out of this. I don't think that's possible. I think we're probably going to get closer to 12, but that's okay. I would like to not play these low cards if I can avoid it, because again, we get more points and more likelihood of getting this in one hand if we play higher value cards. Okay. Alright, yep, 5,000 extra than we needed, very nice. So I believe we're getting $12 here. Not quite up to 40, we're at 39, but if we can, we should avoid spending money here because we're going to get double our money by skipping the next blind. None of these are things we want anyway, so perfect. We'll go to the next round, immediately get another $39. going up to 78, which is perfect, because now if we can beat this boss, we're going to be basically unstoppable with how much money we're about to spend. Okay. It's possible we might have to play 2 hands here, 2 or 3 hands, because we've jumped up significantly in our amount of chips we need. This one is 40,000, whereas the last blind was, I think, like literally half that we played against. But that's perfectly fine, because again, it's only $1 we're missing, and we have 78 in the bank right now, so I'm not too concerned about money. Very nice. Very nice. Alrighty, we are gonna get a decent amount of money out of this as well. Our interest is still only 5 because, again, it's a max of 5, so even though we have way more than $25, we're still only getting 5 from interest, but that's fine. Alright, new voucher is raise the cap on interest earned each round to $10, which is perfect because we have over $50, which means we're going to be getting an extra $10 each round rather than an extra $5 each round. That's an excellent voucher for us. Definitely want to buy the pack here because, again, we get Jupiter or we skip, and both give us more multiplier. By skipping our red card, it goes up to 21 multiplier. We'll go ahead and skip this pack as well, assuming there's no blue seal here, which there's not, so we'll skip. Another 3 multiplier. We have enough money here that I am comfortable re-rolling a couple times as well. I should also check to see what our next boss is. All clubs are debuffed, which is good for us because no clubs. So basically, it's not even a boss ability at all. We'll re-roll once more. First played face card gives ×2, not bad. This is good, an extra $20 basically, for essentially free just because we're re-rolling a bunch here. I suppose I'll re-roll again. Not really that useful stuff that I'm getting. 2 random tarot cards can be good for certain. Let's definitely do this, see what we get. We are given the Magician, which makes lucky cards, and the World, which turns things into spades, which can be useful, but it's almost better for us to be half spades, half hearts. That way we have an equal likelihood of getting flushes for either. Plus 80 chips each hand is basically useless to us, because again, having empty Joker slots is way better than plus 80 chips. I'll reroll once more. I want to say above 50 though, if I can. This is very nice. This is a tarot card that will make the last tarot or planet card we used, and the last tarot card we used was to make 2 tarot cards. So this is very useful. I definitely will sell this and replace it with this. And I'll just hold on to it for now. I don't need to make 2 more tarot cards right away. But with that said, let's move on to the next round. We can get $17 or just play it. I think we're just gonna play it since $17 is pretty much like less. Is that less than we would get from just beating it? I think it's about the same what you get from just beating it. So basically, there's no reason to skip because we get the same amount of money and we get to look at the shop rather than just getting the money and skipping. Alright, just enough to get it in one hand, so yes, we should get exactly $17 here. 3 from the blind, 4 from the remaining hands, 10 from interest. Alright, and to the shop we go. 2 more Celestial packs, which is perfect because, again, we just either get Jupiter or we skip and get more multiplier. Either way, it's great. Alright, got 2 Jupiters in a row. Very nice. This is quite nice. This is a Joker that gives a higher multiplier for the amount of money you have. I would say probably one of the better multiplier, or one of the better Jokers if you have stuff that increases your amount of money gained, such as our voucher that increases interest. So this is fairly easy pickup, I would say. I can get plus 26 multiplier if I get rid of one of these other Jokers. I definitely want to keep this one and this one. This one basically is free to have because it's negative. But I can get rid of one of these in favor of it. I think, well, I'm definitely going to buy it. That's no question. The question is, do I sell one of the ones that I already have so that my stencil continues to multiply by 3? And I would say yes. I think because I'm trying for as high multiplier as possible, I can get rid of this plus 50 chips and plus for rerolling, because hopefully because of this we won't be rerolling as much because we just want as much money as possible. So I'm selling that. And I would say we can go ahead and use this Fool. This will give us another Jupiter card. And I think this is going to be probably enough to make it through the boss alone. But I have this just in case I need it, which I'll probably use on the first hand I play. Yeah, I would say just move on to the next round. I can actually do another skip here if I want to get another free Joker that is holographic, similar to this one. But this is already a pretty good holographic Joker. I can't imagine I'm going to get a better one. So I think I'm just going to play because I get more money by playing, which means more multiplier from my Bootstraps Joker. Oh wow. Didn't quite get there in one hand. Interesting. I wonder if this is worse than the Joker we had currently. It'll be better later, obviously, because it scales with how much money we have. But it's possible this is actually less chips than I had before I switched out the Jokers. In any case, we make it past only using one extra hand, so still a decent amount of money we get. Could have been 18, but instead we're dealing with another 17 payout, which is fine. Not that, and not that. We still want to try to skip packs if we can, because that's still good. But we also want to save as much money as we can, in increments of $5, I should say. This Bootstraps only gives multiplier in increments of $5, similar to the interest. So if I'm at 82, which I am now, there's no difference than 82 and 80. You know, by spending $2 here, I actually don't change the amount of multiplier this is giving at all. I would say, let's see, so buying this will drop this by 2 multiplier, but it'll increase this by 3. So I think I am going to go ahead and buy this, since it'll overall up my multiplier by 1. And also this multiplier just stays no matter how much I've spent. We can make another Jupiter card, should we choose to, and I think that's what we're going to do. This is a very good way to scale into the late game, because it's just, not reliant on anything. You just are always going to have those chip values be better. Here I think I do want to skip another pack, because again, it won't affect this multiplier, because it doesn't bring us below the increment. This is interesting. This is the blue seal. That I thought I saw earlier, but it was turned out to be a purple seal. This is my favorite seal. If this is in your hand, and you beat the blind while this is in your hand, you automatically get a plant card for the poker hand that just won the round. So essentially what that means is if I play a flush, and that flush gets enough chips to beat the blind, it'll give me a Jupiter card just for free, just for having this in my hand. However, it's a diamond, so it's very useless in the hands that I'm playing. It would literally only be just a hold in my hand and hope that I get it when I'm about to win. So even though it is very good, having blue seals is very good. We're already at ante 7 of 8. So we have this boss and then one more ante. I almost feel like it's not worth it. I almost feel like I should just skip here and not worry about trying to generate extra Jupiter cards. It's kind of close. You know what? I will go ahead and take it. I really like the blue seals because, like I said, it's just kind of a free way to get extra scaling. There's basically no downside. And what do you know? There it is. So basically, as long as I just don't discard or play this, I'm guaranteed to get an extra Jupiter card at the end of this round, which is, like I said, very, very good way to scale into the late game. I'm going to be discarding to get a flush here. We'll discard our hearts. We'll go for a spade flush. And in addition to just going for a spade flush, we'll also go ahead and upgrade these into lucky cards just for a little extra chance at getting something good. Lucky cards aren't super useful. They still give their normal chip value, so plus 10 in the case of face cards, but they also have a, as you can see here, 1 in 5 chance to add to your multiplier and a 1 in 15 chance to add to your money. Okay. Oh, right, that's already 5. So go and play this. This should be enough. Actually, no, never mind. We need 70,000 for this. So this won't be enough, but the next hand will probably be enough to beat the blind. And again, we're only going to be playing flushes. So no matter what, we're still going to be able to win with a flush and get our Jupiter card for free. So as you can see there, yes, we did get a free Jupiter card because we beat the blind with a flush. And not only that, but I'm going to use that. But we also essentially did it for free. Like all we had to do was just not play that one card, not discard that one card. So sorry, I was making sure I always get a little nervous when I mute and unmute my mic because I worry that I'm not gonna be heard, but we're good. Alright, rerolls cost less. This is an okay voucher, but because we're on the last ante and I tend to not want to reroll right now because more money is more multiplier, I don't think I'm even going to bother with this one. I will, however, still bother with the packs. The packs are still very good because we can get Jupiter, or if we skip, extra multiplier. Same thing with this tarot pack. We'll open this one as well. And we will be given... What is our last boss also? I should look at that. Forces one card to be always selected. That's basically, again, not a boss that we have to worry about basically at all. It's basically not an issue. So what we got here? Plus 80 chips, it has a flush. Definitely want to sell that. Yes, it does say the word flush on it, but just because it says the word flush on it doesn't mean it's better than just having an empty Joker slot. Empty Joker slots are going to be very good for us. With our large multiplier givers plus our stencil. I think I just want to go to the next round. I don't think I care about rerolling at all. We have, this is definitely not good to use because again we're not going to go into, you technically can keep playing your deck for as long as you want in endless mode after you beat the 8th ante. You go to ante 9, 10, 11, so on and so forth. We're not going to be doing that, so there's basically no reason for us to get more money after we beat the boss blind. It doesn't help us at all. This one, on the other hand, can, but again, we kind of don't want to buy Jokers unless they're really good because we want Joker slots available. So we're going to skip neither. We're just going to play the next 3 rounds, and we should have no problem meeting the amount of chips needed. One thing to keep in mind that I kind of didn't do here is we do have 3 free discards at the beginning of each round, and there's basically no reason for us to not use them. They don't give us anything for holding on to them, so I shouldn't have done that just now. I did win the round. What I should have done is I should have discarded it until I found this card, or tried to at least. That way I would be able to also get a free Jupiter card out of that round, which I kind of slipped my mind there, but I'll do it for the next round. Alright, another $17 in the bank. What do we have here? When a blind is selected, destroy the joker to the right and permanently add double its value. Okay, so this is more of a scaling joker that you want to buy early and build it up, which we don't want now because we're on the last ante. There's another Jupiter card. Make up for the one that I didn't get from my blue seal. Go ahead and open this as well. Probably skip it though. Another blue seal, by the way, which I might as well take. I mean, it's also a spade this time, which I can actually use as opposed to the diamond, so no reason not to take this, honestly. But we have exactly $100 right now, which means this is at exactly 40 multiplier. So we will not spend any more money, and we'll move on to the next round. And like I said, we're just going to play the last 2 rounds here, and should be good to go. Again, I do have 2 blue seals in my deck now, so rather than just outright winning, which I don't even know if I would outright win. I don't think I would outright win from just playing a single flush. So I can probably safely play 1. Excuse me. I can probably safely play 1 and then start discarding to try to find my blue seals, because I don't think this will be enough. Yeah, okay, we're 5,000 short. We get 1 blue seal, but again, you can use multiple blue seals in the same hand. So let's discard such that we have a chance to find the second blue seal. We got 2 more discards for free, might as well use them. And 1 more free discard. Didn't find it, but that's okay. We'll play these 5 cards, and we will get our 1 free Jupiter card. But as I say, there's basically no downside to just going for it. Like, if I used all my discards and I didn't find it, there's no downside. If I did find it, it was a free extra upgrade to our flush. Alright, we're looking very good going into the last round of this run. I would say there are very limited to no scenarios where we aren't able to beat the final boss here. Definitely open this, hopefully get another Jupiter card. No Jupiter card is found, but we can go ahead and skip this and still add our multiplier. This is a card that I generally like when you're going for straights and flushes. It's a joker that allows you to only need to play 4 cards rather than 5 to complete a flush or straight. However, we have such an easy time putting together 5 card flushes that it's basically useless. It would just be another joker slot filled up that's not helping us with our points, so it's basically useless for us. Although in general this is very good. Go ahead and buy this now. Alright. 2 planet cards. Diamonds, clubs, hearts. I guess I'll go ahead and get 2 free planet cards in case I get a Jupiter. I did not, but I can skip, and I still get my multiplier. So that's one cool thing to know about the red card. It says every time you skip a booster pack, if you buy a booster pack that allows you to choose 2 of the 5 cards, then you can pick one, you can pick your first option, and then still skip the second choice, and you basically get the best of both worlds. I still got my planet cards, and I also get my multiplier. Just gonna sell these real quick though, since they're not very useful to me. We're at 107, so I want to keep, like I said, in increments of $5 just to maximize my chances of winning. So I'll buy this, which is $2, and we'll move on to the final round. So we do need 100,000 points to beat this particular boss, and its only ability besides being large, is that it selects one card for us. So you can see here, no matter what I do, I can't deselect the 3 of hearts. All that means is that the next hand or discard that I use has to entail this card, which is, again, not really a big issue for us. We can just discard a bunch of our low cards here. Now it's saying I need to use the Jack of Spades, which is fine because I can play a flush here. And doing so like this is perfectly acceptable. I don't even need to use this actually. I can just play this and then play the next flush, and that should be GG. Might even be GG just alone. No, not quite. 84,000. Alrighty. Go ahead and, why not? Go ahead and use these. Turn these into lucky cards. So we have some extra points here. And we'll play our final hand. Ah, we got our lucky card. Our 1 in 5 chance happened. Very nice. And our final hand, that actually did it alone. That was over 100,000 points from that one hand alone. Very nice. Okay, so we've beaten the run using the checkered deck. I would say this is probably one of the easier decks so far that I've had. It's pretty obvious just going into it what hands you're looking for, right? You only have 2 suits, so you clearly want to go for flushes, and it's pretty easy to do so, and we actually got a really good early game with the free jokers with extra points, so we're not going to go into endless mode. We're actually just going to go back to the main menu after beating that. So for those who were not here last time, I kind of mentioned this, but similar to a lot of these roguelike games, there's not just one difficulty. So far we've beaten all the decks we've beaten on the white stake difficulty. You can see this little white poker chip that's on the top right hand corner of all the decks we've beaten, all the way back to the first red deck, all the way up to our current deck of the checkered deck. That just means we've beaten them on a white stake. Each of these decks that we've beaten already, we can then up the difficulty to the next one, which looks like red stake. And similar to if you've played any of the other roguelike games like Slay the Spire and these types of games, it works like the Ascensions, where essentially each new difficulty level adds a small but noticeable barrier to winning. So in this case, the red stake says the small blind gives no reward money. But also you can see at the bottom here it says applies all previous stakes. So each stake is going to have that. Where basically this stake, not too bad, you get a little less money, nothing serious. But then the next stake above here, whatever it is going to be that new slight downside, and this one, and the next one all the way down. So each time it does, it just kind of adds a new level of difficulty. Sorry, my lighting looks really blue right now all of a sudden. Not sure why that is. But in any case, it just kind of adds a little extra level of difficulty. Now, all the decks I've done so far, I've been able to either they started unlocked. I think I only started with the blue and red deck able to be played. But each time you win with a deck, you kind of unlock the next deck. So all the way up to the checkered deck, I need to play some other deck to unlock this one. The next new deck requires that you win a run on the red stake difficulty to unlock it. And then green stake, black stake, blue stake, and orange stake. All the way for the last 5 decks that need to be unlocked. Therefore, we can't even try a new deck until we up the difficulty level of a deck we've already played before. Which is why I think that's exactly what I'm going to do for the next run. I'm going to go to red stake difficulty on one of these previously played decks. I don't really have much preference which. I guess we could just do the deck we just played and go for another flush run, since it seemed to be pretty easy. In fact, yeah, let's do that. So we'll do another checkered deck run, but this time we'll up the difficulty to red stake, and we'll see how it goes. See if it's just as easy or if it's a little more difficult. Alrighty. So, again, same concept applies. Similar to any other roguelike game, we're starting fresh. So none of our previous additions are here. None of our previous jokers are here. None of our previous vouchers are here. Everything is entirely new. And as you can see, not even the things here are the same. It's random what you get. The numbers for beating the blinds are the same, 300, 450, 600, but the ability of the boss, the different things you get for skipping, that's all random. So we are gonna see here. Again, not that bad of a boss if we're just going for flushes. We only get 7 cards to look at each hand that we have to parse through to get our flushes, but the difference between an 8-card hand and a 7-card hand really isn't that bad when you're just looking for, you know, a flush. It's pretty easy to get still. Again, we are faced with the decision where kind of both of our first 2 skips are quite good. This is a free rare joker, and rare jokers tend to be very good. And this is a free Arcana pack, which gives 2 tarot cards. We're definitely going to skip this one. I would say we probably can skip this one too. But it might be a little risky to go into our boss without our free rare joker, so we're actually going to go ahead and play this one. Once again here, just looking for flushes. Not really any reason to stray from just doing that. And we should be able to get there in a hand or 2. Yeah, it looks like 2 hands will do it. I will say, I'm sure there are other things you can do with the checkered deck. This just seemed to be the most obvious to me. Alright. Get up to our $10 mark. Our first voucher of the run is +1 card slot available in the shop, which can be good. But our free rare joker here is each played card with a club suit gives times 1.5 multiplier when scored. Suit changes at the end of round. So every round we get a random suit that will increase our multiplier significantly. This is an interesting joker for sure, because obviously we're only looking for 2 of the 4 suits for it to come up. But, I mean, it's free. We're definitely going to buy it. It just happens to be not one of the best rare jokers as far as something I can really take into the late game and be happy with, but that's okay. This is useful if we're going to get a lot of planet cards. I would say probably just buying the voucher here is the best, because again, once we go to the boss, the shop after that boss will not have this same voucher. We'll be introduced to a new voucher. So I am actually just going to go ahead and redeem this. More options in the shop is usually a pretty good one to start with. And we'll move on to the boss. Interesting. Interesting. That's kind of an interesting joker. Not that I can buy it, I'm out of money, but that is... I would be interested to see if this would be good in this deck, where if you just try to play hearts, then necessarily you'd be left with the hand with mostly spades, and then you could have ×3 multiplier every time. That'd be interesting joker to try out. But for now, let's move on to the first boss. Currently, this multiplier joker does nothing because we have no clubs, but we should have no problem beating this boss with just 2 or 3 hands of flushes, even though we don't have any good jokers yet. Looks like it's probably gonna be closer to 3 hands. Yeah, not my favorite opener to a run for sure, but I think last run was particularly lucky, and this is just more of an average run. I would say money-wise, we're definitely struggling a little bit. We only have $6 to our name after this round. And our new voucher is... This is the one I was referring to last run, where your packs, your Celestial packs, always contain the planet of your most played poker hand, which will, you know, from now on always contain a Jupiter card, as long as no other hand gets played more than than 5 times without us playing any more flushes. This is quite good. Obviously, we can't afford it right now. We only have $6, but I would try to strive for getting this so that we can always buy Celestial packs and be happy with the money spent there. Straights are not helpful. Bonus cards are okay, and plus 5 hand size, but reduced by 1 every round is not that good. Because this is more like a temporary boost that we don't really need right now. And good news is our Ancient Joker has rolled a suit for the next round that is one that's in our deck, the Hearts suit. So that would mean that if we play a Heart flush, it'll be basically a one-hand win. So we can probably just move on to the next round without worrying about beating the next couple blinds. This is a good boss to think about. This boss says cards played previously this ante are debuffed. Right. So what that means is these, if I play against the small blind and then the big blind, every single card in every single hand I played in either of those 2 rounds does not score points in this round. So it's a good reason to want to skip, obviously, right? Because I'm not going to be able to play some of the cards if I played these 2 rounds previously. The other reason to want to skip is because currently our Ancient Joker has Heart rolled as the suit that it's going to want us to play. And if I play this round and I play this round, each round it gets a new random suit. But there's a good chance, I would say, a 50% chance basically, that it's going to, if we play these 2 rounds, this will then have a suit that isn't in our deck. It'll have diamonds or clubs, and then we'll basically be down our rare Joker for the boss. So I'm actually going to skip both of these, kind of regardless of what they give me, just so that we can get to the boss and not just be in a rough spot. We have the red card again, similar to last run. This is the one where we skip a booster pack, we get more and more multiplier, and this is plus 15 multiplier if I have used all my discards. So both pretty decent, and just adding some multiplier here and there. We're going to go ahead and go to the boss. And even though this seems to be a much higher chip amount that we need than the previous ones we've played, keep in mind that if we play Hearts, we're going to get a way better multiplier. So I'm just going to go ahead and play a Heart flush to begin. So even though it says 4 multiplier, we get times 1.5, times 1.5, times 1.5, times 1.5, and then times 1.5. So it's going to be kind of insane. Then we're easily able to beat it in one hand, simply because we were able to keep this on Hearts by skipping the first 2 blinds. Alright, let's cash out there. Okay, our free Joker from skipping that small blind is the +1 multiplier per hand played, -1 multiplier per discard. Interesting. So this is a Joker that can kind of go up and down in value as you play and discard throughout the rounds. But more importantly, it's free and holographic, so we're definitely going to take that. Currently our Ancient Joker is on clubs, which again is not one of our suits, so this is useless right now. So we're definitely going to need a little extra something to go forward. The only unfortunate thing that I kind of forgot about skipping both those blinds is that I no longer have access to the voucher that allows us to always have the Jupiter card in our planet packs. So that is an unfortunate consequence that I kind of forgot about. I kind of forgot about that, but again, I still think it was the correct thing to do because we don't want to lose to that boss. And if we play either of those first 2 blinds, there's a very high likelihood that we would be either very hard pressed or basically unable to beat that last boss. Our current upcoming boss is that spade cards are debuffed, but again, not too bad because we can just play Hearts. I think I'm just going to stick at $15 so we can get more interest, so I'll move on to the next round. This is a free card pack, and this is a free Joker pack. I think skipping this one is better, as far as the benefit is better. However, I get no money from the small blind, But I think that this is just such a better tag that I'm better off playing this round and skipping the next. I think this is certainly better. I think we're fine to just play. I think 2,000 chips is certainly certainly higher than we're gonna be able to get to in one hand. Yeah, as we see there, we only get halfway, but that's okay because 2 hands isn't too bad. It also keeps buffing up our joker here that cares about how many hands we play without playing discards. And so we get some more multiplier on this, we can get back to the shop, and we get this to show a new suit. That is unfortunate though that it showed spades and not hearts, because as I say, our upcoming boss is not going to let us play any spades. So, not great. I guess I shouldn't say it's not going to let us play spades, we just don't get more chips for doing so. I think once again I'm going to skip this entire shop just to hit our $20 interest marker. We're going to get $4 of interest on the next time we go to the shop, or not go to the shop, but beat up blind if we just don't spend any money, so I will not spend any money. This is interesting because now I still have a suit here that I don't like. It's the spades, which are debuffed, but I think it's probably better to skip here anyway, and I'll tell you why, because I can still play the spades as I said, and I believe it'll still be good enough to probably beat the boss based on the fact that the multiplier is going to go up very high even if the chips are still pretty low. So let's skip this, get our free joker pack, let's see what we're given. Extra chips, extra multiplier for each blind skipped this run. Currently it's on ×2. This is quite good, I find. Just a solid +4 multiplier. Probably don't want that one. And adds double the rank of the lowest ranked card in held in hand to multiplier. Well, I would say we definitely want this one. One of these I can probably just buy to sell. Go and buy this one, I guess. Immediately sell it. And then I'll buy the one I actually want. Okay. Yep, on to the boss then. And as I say, I think it's still fine. And in fact, it might even give me more overall chips to play spades as a flush than hearts simply because of the ancient joker here, but I think we're fine. I want to avoid discarding as much as possible though because of my green joker. Discarding will reduce the multiplier, whereas playing a hand will increase the multiplier. Alright, halfway there. And again here, not going to discard even though I have all disabled cards in hand because, not debuffed cards in hand. Oh, interesting. Okay, it does turn off the joker's ability there. That's what I was wondering about. So, as you saw there, the fact that these are debuffed actually prevented my joker here from giving them that because it specifically says that they add to the multiplier when scored. And as it says, they are not scored because they're disabled or debuffed. That's totally fine though, I just had to spend one extra hand basically. So not too bad, honestly. It's annoying that we lose $1 there essentially, but not too bad. We don't lose the run at least. Could be a lot worse. Alrighty, and we got our money from that. Certainly doing well on the money side of things. I would say none of these are really worth our time, but 1 in 5 chance to hit Jupiter is fairly good, and we don't actually drop our interest down. Currently, our Ancient Joker is on clubs, which is not great. However, our boss is debuffing club cards, which means it's basically not a boss at all, because again, we have no clubs in our deck, so that's a very good boss to see upcoming. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because worst case scenario, I skip the pack and we have the red joker still. So if we don't hit Jupiter, and indeed we did not, we at least get +3 multiplier. So it's not all bad. And with that, we'll move on. I think we're looking pretty good. We're already on ante 4. So getting up to the halfway point of this run. $11 is pretty good. I mean, it's certainly more money than we would get from playing against it. We just don't get to see the shop. Currently this is on clubs, so I do want to play at least one of these two just to make sure we can beat the boss. I think we skip this one though. I think getting the money is better, and then we'll play the big blind here. Okay, what are we at now? Clubs, that's right. And then hopefully we get spades or hearts for the upcoming boss. That would be ideal. I think our best case scenario is, I guess it doesn't matter because we're still even, but yeah, spades or hearts. So that leaves us basically a 2/3 chance of getting a suit that is favorable from this joker going into the boss. Oh. Got some new people watching. How's it going? Alright, so we had to use 2 hands there, so we got a little less money, but still $11, not bad. Alright. Earn $1 for each 9 in your full deck. So $4 per round, it's not bad. Just some extra money. We're at diamonds. That is unfortunate because that is the, as I said, we had kind of a 2/3 chance to get the suit that we wanted, and we hit the 1 in 3 of not getting either suit that we wanted because it was already on. It was on clubs, and it never picks the same one twice in a row, so it could only pick diamonds or one of our 2 suits, and it picked diamonds. Unfortunate. We'll simply deal with it though. We got a black hole. So this is a unique card you can find in the Celestial packs that just upgrades all of your poker hands. You can see they're all level 2, rather than just one like any of the other planet cards, which is quite nice. It's essentially like finding a Jupiter because, again, we only care about upgrading the flush, and it did so. So the other ones are kind of incidental. I think I'm also going to go ahead and buy this Buffoon pack because if I skip it, we still get extra multiplier. We have that is useless, and we have this one, which is gains extra multiplier every time a playing card is added into your deck. I try not to add to the deck when I already have a deck that's well suited for a single hand, such as this one with flushes. So this isn't that good. However, it is just plus 50 chips, which in and of itself can be useful. The question is, what would we give up to add this joker? I would think this summit is not great. It's kind of conflicting. I don't want to discard for the green joker. This one wants me to use all my discards. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I will go ahead and grab my hologram joker. Alright. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy this such that it will give us a higher chance of finding playing cards to add to our deck. I think this is acceptable. And with that said, let's go into the next boss. Again, we don't have a rare joker here at all, basically, because this only works with diamonds, and we don't have any diamonds in our deck, but I think we should still be able to beat it simply with the other multipliers that we have, or at least I'm hopeful that we will. Okay. Yeah, we have plenty. We just need 2 hands. This is going a little slower than our last run did, but certainly nothing we can't make up for. We're halfway through now. Halfway through the run as a whole, that is, because we just beat the boss of Ante 4. But certainly we can focus on scaling from here on out, even though we haven't had great scaling thus far. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. This is quite good. We get a higher chance at fancy cards, foil, holographic, and polychrome. So we'll go ahead and immediately buy that one. That voucher is quite useful, especially if you're looking for jokers that will help you scale. Oh, excuse me. I think I will go ahead and buy a pack as well. Where are we at? We did finally get a suit we need, by the way, which is we got Heart on our Ancient Joker. What is our boss? All face cards are drawn face down. That's fine. I'm just going to use this to increase our 2 highest value cards in this hand to add some extra multipliers if we play them. Nothing too good, nothing too bad, honestly. I could go ahead and open another pack here, but I think it's best just to move on so that we remain above $25. So we can keep getting our interest. Ah, this is even more money. And this is a free uncommon Joker. Now, one of the things to keep in mind here is that we currently have a good suit on our Ancient Joker, and we get even more multiplier by skipping blinds. So it's actually entirely possible that our best way to scale up our chips to beat this boss is by just skipping both these blinds, which is a little counterintuitive because usually you want to play the rounds so you can get to the shop so that you can get stronger. But in this case, it actually might be better. We might have a better chance of beating the boss if we just skip both of these, which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to skip, get some money, skip again, get even more multiplier, and immediately go into the boss of Ante 5. Alright. Yes, this should be enough to get us at least most of the way there. As each of these is going to multiply our multiplier by 1.5, as you can see here, because they're all hearts. Oh yeah, one hand, and we're done with that boss. So as we saw, it's not always intuitive, but sometimes you actually get stronger by skipping the blinds rather than playing them. $13 more in the bank. And our free uncommon Joker is create a tarot card when blind is selected. So this means every time we actually select to play against a blind, we are going to be able to get a free consumable tarot card, which can be good. The problem is we're going to have to give up one of our current Jokers that's giving us actual chip values in order to buy this. And honestly, plus 20 multiplier here. This is actually only plus 3 multiplier currently, so it could be that this is just not worth it at all. Our Ancient Joker is on Diamond, which means it's not on a good suit right now. Our next boss upcoming is also a good thing to look at. Decrease the level of played poker hand. This is quite a nasty one. I'm not a fan of this boss at all, because what essentially this means is that if I play a flush, it'll still get all the normal things you get for playing a flush, but it'll also decrease the level and decrease the chip and multiplier amount just permanently for each time you play a flush into it. Which means we need to get planet cards, which means I need to buy this voucher. which will help us get more Jupiter cards. But certainly this is not a favorable boss to run into when you're going all in on a single hand. Here's our Jupiter, which we will use. And we'll go ahead and skip the rest of the pack to add to our red card. Although I might be getting rid of the red card right here. I'm not actually sure yet what's better. This way, though, because we use the Jupiter card, we can then make another Jupiter card and use it. So like I said, because I'm fighting the boss that's going to reduce my level, I got to get it up as high as possible first before I run into this particular boss. I do think... it's interesting. It's quite possible that this hologram isn't going to be good in the long run, because currently it's not multiplying anything, it's just giving plus 50 chips. So we haven't added any playing cards, and as I say, I don't really need to add playing cards. I mean, my deck's already pretty well suited to playing flushes on repeat. It's kind of all it does, in fact. So I might just get rid of this, which I will do, actually. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to buy my free tarot card creator. And I'm not going to reroll it all right now, because actually I am going to look at 3 new cards. I'll reroll once just to see. Okay, moving on. None of those are good. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. The next base edition Shop Joker is free and gives times 1.5 multiplier. That is quite good. I think the plan should be to skip and then play, get this over to a suit that I need, try to beat this in one flush. I think that's where I'm at, so I'm just going to definitely skip this. That'll also increase our multiplier from skipping a blind, and then we'll immediately play this, which will give us a tarot card. We get the Moon, which is useless, so we'll sell it. But as a free dollar, basically, not bad. And then we will go into playing our flushes. Let's begin. Again, we're trying to avoid discarding as much as possible because of our green Joker, and we're trying to win in as a few hands as possible so that we get more money. It is not looking great, though, as we might have to play 3 whole hands to beat this blind. Not ideal, honestly. Yep, we are going to have to play a 3rd one. Again, a lot of this comes down to that our starting rare Joker is kind of has an element of randomness to it, where it only really works half the time. And in fact, I guess you could say it works basically exactly half the time, because there's 4 suits, and I only care about 2 of them. It did go over to one that I need, though. It went over to Hearts, which is one of the ones I'm looking out for, so this is quite good. We have a free Polychrome Joker, +5 when discards remaining are 0. This is the one we sold earlier in order to make room for this. It's slightly better now, obviously, that it has the Polychrome to it, so I'm kind of inclined to take it. Despite the fact this is not really a the main ability that I want, the Polychrome is just a nice multiplier. Go ahead and buy my Celestial Pack too, because remember, it's guaranteed to have Jupiter. The reason it's guaranteed to have Jupiter is because of that telescope voucher that we bought. So basically, every time we buy a Celestial Pack, it'll always have at least 1 Jupiter in it. I'll go and buy this as well. Multi, creases, clubs, wildcard, free Joker. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and enhance some. Do something like this, maybe. Yeah, we'll make these higher multipliers, which is, you know, nothing, not a huge buff or anything, but it's reasonable. I'll also go ahead and use some rerolls here just to make sure we're as powerful as we possibly can be for this upcoming boss, because like I said, I want to try as best I can to beat it in one hand, so that I don't have to deal with decreasing the level of my flush too many times. This Joker is pretty insane. Copies the ability of Joker to the right. So any Joker I put this next to, it's going to just do its ability again, which is, like I say, insane. It can be ×3 multiplier. It can give even more multiplier to each card I play. So I definitely want this. I think I might have to sell one of these two. I'm inclined to sell this one simply because of the Celestial packs always have a Jupiter card. I'm never going to skip them. So this 6 is not going to get much bigger. So I'm going to sell that. I'm going to buy this, slap it over here. Wait, yeah, ×3 or ×1.5 ×5. So this is better. So I'll do this. Compatible. Is it not compatible with certain Jokers? Interesting, okay. So yeah, I'll put it next to the Ancient Joker, and that should be able to, if we get 5 hearts, we should be able to beat the next boss in essentially one hand. I'm really glad I rerolled, because I was actually thinking about not really rerolling that shop at all, and we rerolled and got one of the best Jokers for this situation. I think that was quite good. We are going to have to use at least one discard here, though, because we only have 4 hearts in hand as of current. So we're going to discard. We are going to get -1 multiplier on this green Joker, but it'll, well, if I say it'll all be worth it when I, oh no, okay, I did draw a 5th heart there. Honestly, I should sort my hands by suit like this. It's much more useful when I'm only playing flushes. But yes, I believe this gives me the best chance of beating this in one hand. So let's see. So as you'll see here, it'll reduce our flush level to level 4, but we should be able to just beat it right here. Oh my god, that's the largest multiplier I think I've ever had. I've had higher scores given from one hand, but that might be the highest multiplier I've ever seen from one one hand. That's crazy. Okay, and we take those. That is really good. So now our multiplier is basically insane. I mean, it's just out of this world high. It's, you know, getting increased here, getting multiplied 10 times. So this is basically plus times 15, right? Because it's 5 card hand being multiplied. Each card is multiplying it by 1.5 twice. So that's like 10 times 1.5, so it's 15, and then multiplied again by 3, and then again by 1.5. It's some insane amount of multiplication. So our multiplier is high. Now we just need to make sure our chip number is also high. This is not great. I don't need this. I could make rerolls cost less. I definitely want this Celestial pack though, because again, I'm guaranteed a Jupiter card, which I will always take. This is a good way to get my chip number higher, as it'll just increase by 15 each time. I will go ahead and buy this voucher and make my rerolls less. While I'm at it, I'm going to check to see what my upcoming boss is, just in case it's something. No repeat hand types this round. Again, this is the boss I have a hard time against, because I can't play. If I play a flush, my next hand can't be a flush. So I need to beat this in basically one hand, one big flush hand that just wins outright. Which means I need this Ancient Joker to be on Spade or Heart, and it currently is on Spade, so I'm going to probably have to skip both my blinds just to guarantee that my Ancient Joker is on the correct suit for the boss. Which is actually fine, because both of these are really good. Another Negative Joker and a Mega Buffoon pack are both very good skips. It's just something to keep in mind that I am basically going to be forced to skip both the upcoming blinds. So I'll keep that in mind. I will go and reroll once here, just to see, but nothing we need. So again, we're going to skip this. We're going to see if any of the jokers we get offered are better than our current jokers. I'm guessing not, since we have a lot of good jokers. Retrigger all face cards played. This can be good. This can be good, and the reason why isn't because, you know, obviously if it's a face card, it gives plus 10 chips, so this is essentially like plus 10 chips for each face card played. That's already good on its own. But if we play a face card of the suit that our ancient joker is currently selecting, so we play a, you know, the king of spades right now, it'll multiply times 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5. So every single face card of the suit selected, which currently there are 6 in our deck, right? Because it's spades, so we need to look at kings, queens, and jacks of spades. So there's 2 of each of those. So there's 6 cards in our deck. If I get this, that would basically, what is that? I just said each one multiplies 1.5 4 times. So that would be what is that? 4 times 1.5 is 6. So each singular one of those 6 cards gives a times 6 multiplier to our base multiplier. That would be insane. However, this is pretty specific. This is only if this is on a good suit, and only if it's specifically the face cards. So it would make those cards very good, but a little specific, so I might hold off on that one. Similar, this does the same thing. It says re-trigger each played 2, 3, 4, or 5. It would also do the same thing with the Ancient Joker, and even be a little bit better in that I only need... I have more options. There's 2, 3, 4, or 5 of whatever suit is selected, which means because I have 2 of each, that's 8 possible cards instead of only 6. However, again, I don't think something that specific is going to be super useful. And our last option here, played face cards give +5 multiplier when scored. This is just not that great. Again, this is just like base plus multiplier when we already have a huge multiplier. It's probably not even as good as my green joker, which just gives plus 23 currently. This might be needing to go. The Mystic Summits, I would say it's possible that that could go. I think what my plan here is sell Mystic Summits for 5. Buy one of these that's going to be easy to sell. We'll select this. We'll sell that as well for 4. And then we'll fill the empty slot with... I'm thinking the smiley face. But I could also see this one being good. Because again, it's insane if we find exactly one of those 6 cards. The king, queen, jack of spades. And like I said, there's 2 of each of those in the deck. I think that is what I'm going to do. I don't think the smiley face is nearly as good, and it does basically the same thing. So we're going to take this. Put that over there. I actually don't know where exactly to put this. Can I put this here? It is still compatible with that. Was that better? Wait, hang on. So this, if I put the copy joker here, it just basically copies that each of that suit multiplies by 1.5. If I copy here, okay, I would really want to copy here if I have specifically the face cards of that suit. Okay, we're good, we're good. Yeah, so we'll... It does matter the order you put the jokers in, by the way. They do it in the left to right order. Unless they specifically say the card does the thing. In which case, I don't think these ones matter where I put them. Because the cards being played is what triggers them. But for instance, this one gives a base just times 3.25 of whatever the multiplier is. This gives a plus currently 23 to the multiplier. I want to add, then multiply, not multiply, then add. So this one being on the left of this one does matter, but the rest of it I don't think matters. I'll skip this as well. And I'm hoping that with everything that I've set up, I can beat this in a singular hand of spades, and we get 3 of the face cards of spades. Yeah, okay, this is I think pretty much guaranteed to win in a single win in a single hand. I do have to find a 5th spade here, but that shouldn't be too difficult. I can't see any way that this doesn't have like 100,000 chips generated, right? This is gonna be insane. So let's just watch this. So it gives plus 10, plus 4 multiplier, and then multiply by 5, multiply by 5, again, plus 10, plus 4 multiplier, 1.5, 1.5, yeah, okay. This is a really cool, I've not had this combination of jokers before, but it is very cool to just watch it go. Oh my god, the multipier's in the 40. Oh my Jesus. Okay, the classic 7 million chips from one hand. We take those, we take those. That's actually insane. That might be the highest I've gotten out of one hand before. I needed 70k to beat that boss, and instead I was like, here's some cards, and I got 7 million. Oh my goodness. That is actually kind of insane. We'll definitely buy the voucher here. Okay, I'm feeling really good. Basically now, if this Joker is ever on a suit that is good for us, right now it's on club, which is not good for us, but if it ever figures out how to be on one of these 2 suits again, it's just over. If first hand of round is a single 6, destroy it and create a spectral card. Interesting. It's not useful for me, but I can certainly just buy it because it's a negative, and I can fit it now that I have 6 Joker slots and immediately sell it because I don't need this. Yep, goodbye. Free $5, we take those. Definitely buy this. We get another Jupiter card for free. This is the last ante of the run as well, so I'm thinking that this deck is just kind of insane. This seems to be no harder than the last run with it. In fact, it might even be easier because of how insane the Jokers have lined up to be. Let's look at our last round of blinds. We have a small blind that I can skip for money, and I can skip this blind for money, and one random Joker is disabled each hand. This actually is a pretty good boss against me because I kind of rely on a bunch of my Jokers working together, but I still do not think it's going to have any chance of taking us down. So long as we have at least 2 of those 3 Jokers working, it's going to be kind of insane. My plan here is just to reroll a couple times, find a decent card, and then we're going to just steamroll this guy. Pretty sure all cards held in hand abilities. Not great. We'll reroll once more and see what we can find. Earn $4 with the flush. Not really that great. We actually have another holographic Joker. Played cards with the spade suit give extra multiplier when scored. So this would mean that if I play spade flush, I play 5 spades, which means 3 for each, 15, plus the 10 from holographic. This is basically plus 25 multiplier. Currently, my just kind of base multiplier is the green Joker at plus 23, so this is better, but this only works with spades and does not work at all with hearts, which leads me to believe that it's better just to hold on to the green Joker, even though it is technically 2 multipliers less than the Wrathful Joker if I play spades. Okay, I didn't find anything useful. We'll just move on to the next round. I think I don't want to skip right now, because right now our Ancient Joker is on clubs, and I need it to be on one of my suits for this thing to work as intended. So I actually have to play these blinds until this goes to one that I need, and at which point then I will skip to the boss. Okay. So currently this does nothing, so I want to skip. I want to always be aware that this blueprint Joker is copying the Joker to the right. Currently this Joker that is right does nothing. Similarly, this one only works with face cards, so I actually want to move it to double the throwback to multiply by 3.5 again. So we're just going to play a... Oh, that's a straight flush. Is actually straight flush better? Straight flush is more chips, but less multiplier than a flush, right? So if I just do flush, 110 by 14. This is 140 by 12. So 30 less chips. I think it's actually better to do straight flush, even though it's only level 2 and our flush is level 6. It just so happened we have a straight flush. So we'll go ahead and play it. Yep. Very nice. Plenty of chips still, even without our Ancient Joker, to basically almost double what we needed. So yeah, we're in basically no trouble at all here. We're going to check our Ancient Joker. It is currently on hearts, which is good, which means we're going to skip the next blind, right? Because we don't want to risk playing this blind and it not going to spades, because it'll go to diamonds or clubs, and then we won't have it for the boss. So we're going to skip the next blind, which will just give us some money, it looks like. But that means that we need to spend all the money we have on this shop, because we're not going to get another shop before the final boss. Do something like this. Yeah. So let's spend all our money, and we'll figure out the best configuration for... what is this? Polychrome is 1.5, but it's +1 hand size. Pretty unnecessary, honestly. I'd rather just try to find a Joker that has like a negative or something on it that is better for me. These are all useless. I'll skip them. I'll go and buy this one as well. Like I said, we're not going to spend any more money this run, so might as well just run all our money away into this shop. This is actually one of my favorite rare Jokers, however it's only good if you get it very early. If your first hand of the round has only one card, you get to copy that card and add it to your deck and then draw the copy. So essentially if you really want to go for like 4 of a kind or something, this is extremely good, because you just, on your first hand, you kind of like give away the fact that I'm not going to make many points on this first hand of the round. But you make a copy of what a card you play. So if you have like the Ace of Spades, you can have like 10 Ace of Spades in your deck by the end of the round, by just like having this Joker early. So very, very, very good Joker to have early. Unfortunately here, does not do much. Reroll again. Extra. This is another good Joker. Gives you even more interest. If you pair this with like the voucher that gets your interest up to 10. Sorry, I really feel like I was going to sneeze there. If you get the voucher that puts your cap of interest up to 10 instead of 5, and you get this Joker, you can basically be making $20 of interest every single round, so long as you have $50 or more in the bank. So this Joker is also one of my favorites. Again, not great here, as we're not going to be getting any more interest. Go ahead and pick up this tarot card. Again, it's basically free to do so. As far as I remember, there's nothing I need to do at the shop. Yeah, I just need to... Joker. Every time a playing card is added. Nope. Last reroll. Nothing of value is found, but that's perfectly fine. I think we're doing just fine on what we have, so we will go here. We're definitely going to skip because we're already on hearts. So we'll just skip here, get some ridiculous amount of money that doesn't matter. This multiplier goes up, and we'll fight the last boss. So, this is going to disable a single random Joker for each hand that we play. Currently, we're not able to double our abilities of face cards, which is perfectly fine, because this is really what we care about, as well as this. So, this is actually probably the best Joker for it to randomly turn off. We just need to find 5 hearts. I assume this doesn't care about how many times I discard, so I am just going to go ahead and discard all of my spades here and try to find a 5th heart, and that one hand should, I think, just win us the game instantaneously. We'll even go ahead and make some of our 9s here lucky, just in case, but it shouldn't even be necessary. And we'll play our 5 hearts here, and let's just see how many points this gets us. Oh, you even got the lucky multiplier there from the lucky part of the card. That's interesting. Our multiplier is already at over 2,000, and then we multiply it by another million. Oh my god. Whew. That is spicy. That is a spicy run. I really like these this combination here. It's very fun. Now, like I said, the Blueprint Joker is one of the best because if you have a rare Joker, that gives you a decent benefit. Doubling it up is almost always broken. Back to the main menu. We did unlock the next deck. It's called the Zodiac deck. Again, that's why we played on the red stake difficulty. This says start run with Tarot Merchant, Planet Merchant, and Overstock. These are all vouchers that have to do with what the shop contains. So the shop will contain more tarot cards, more planet cards, and have 3 slots available in the cards. Honestly, not too bad of a run there. I mean, obviously that was just kind of insane. Where we just best hand is almost 7 million. I wonder. I don't think it even tells you this once I start a new run. It does not anymore. But I believe my highest previous hand was something closer to like 1 million. That's insane that we got to 7 million or nearly 7 million. Alright, I would say we're going to probably have time for one more run for this stream. I think I want to just try out the new deck though. I could try to just go up to green stake difficulty on the checkered deck, but I think I've done a pretty good job of showing off how broken the checkered deck is if you just go for flushes. So I definitely could just start a new run on green stake. It looks like the green stake difficulty required score scales faster for each ante. So this just means that each ante, the required amount you need goes up faster at a faster rate of increase, which if we get as lucky as we did on that last run, shouldn't matter at all because we were in the millions by the time it was asking us to make it to like 50,000. So, but in any case, I think I'd rather check out the new deck, and we'll maybe go back to higher difficulties if I end up playing this on a later stream. But for now, let's check out the Zodiac deck. This seems to be a little bit of a harder deck to work with, simply because most of the other decks give you some sort of benefit to... They give you a form of way to get more chips for your hands. This one seems to have no such thing, where you really are getting no benefit to your chip values or your hand play your hand play levels or whatever. It really only has to do with the shop, so this should be interesting. A much more economy focused deck. It appears to be a normal deck though. We still have 4 suits, 1 value of each suit. Yeah, looks all normal. I really don't know how to approach this because, again, we're really only the only benefit to this is we start with these vouchers. This is all we get to start with. Planet cards appear more, tarot cards appear more, and more shop slots. So I think what we're going to do is we're definitely going to skip this because getting a free holographic Joker at the beginning of the game is very good. We're probably going to play this because doubling our $4 isn't that impressive. So we'll just start with just get into it and we'll see how it goes. I really don't know how to approach this. Typically what I like to do is I like to, as I say, you get more money when you have more hands remaining unused. So typically I like to just try to get a very high scoring hand at the beginning so that I can make more money. And that seems to be pretty good idea, especially with this deck where my main benefit comes from having better shops. So obviously having more money would make my shops even better. Looks like our only thing to work with though here at the beginning is our 2 kings, so I'm just going to discard everything that is not a high value card, and we'll see if we go for 2 pair here. I can also try to go for a full house here. I still have 2 discards left. As full house would probably get us close to winning outright. Or not so much winning outright, but like get us to the point where we don't have to use maybe 2 hands to beat this. Wow, we have 2 2 of each face card here. I think my plan is just to do 2 pair. I still have 1 discard left, but I almost kind of would rather save that. We'll play 2 pair here. And we will see how close we are to... No, still probably have to use 2 more hands is my guess. We can do another 2 pair if we need. But I think the better use here would be to try to get a better hand than 2 pair. 2 pair is pretty low down on the multiplier. Straights is decent, full house is preferable as well. We still have 2 jacks and a 9 left in the deck. I will just discard everything that's not a jack or a 9 here, see what we can get. We end up getting a 3rd jack and 3rd 9 actually. I think that's going to probably be our best way forward here. So let's go ahead and play this hand. We get a full house played. This shouldn't get us all the way to 450, but close, I'm guessing. Oh no, okay, it did get us to 450. Okay, good. We only used 2 hands there, so we do get, not only do we get our $4 from beating the blind, but 2 from having 2 hands left. I would say it's a pretty decent start. We also get our free and holographic Joker, which is the misprint Joker, not the best. The misprint Joker, as you may be able to tell from the glitching text, gives you a random amount of multiplier each hand you play. So that's not the most consistent. It is just like a raise cap on interest. This is perfect because again, I'm all about the money in this run, so I definitely need more money from interest. This is perfect. As I was saying though, this is not really a super well scaling or reliable Joker, but it is just a very decent Joker for the early game. So I would say not the best, not the worst. Going into the first boss though, we do need to hit 600 here. Probably going to have to play at least 2 to 3 hands, depending on how lucky we get with the misprint Joker. It also kind of depends on how lucky we get with the type of hands we get to play here. Ideally, we'd play more full houses, as you can see, very high up on our list of poker hands, just starting out. And it seems to be pretty easy to do here. The problem is because our boss here requires us -1 hand size. Oh, we got lucky though. I was going to say because we have -1 hand size, it becomes less and less likely for us to find the cards we need. Because when we already have 2 pair and we're looking for full house, we only really get 3 chances instead of 4. We only get to discard our 3 remaining cards of the 7 card hand rather than the 4 of a different size hand. But luckily, we did find a full house, and we're able to do it with 1 hand rather than 2 or 3. So again, very, very good because we want to start building interest as quickly as possible, getting up to the amount because we can now, if we get up to 50, we can get up to $10 of interest per round, which is insane. None of these are super interesting. This Joker does give multiplier of ×2 if you play a face card, which can help us get through some of the early game. And in fact, I think that is probably what I will do. I'll probably end up buying this Joker, even though again, I really want to start getting our interest value. We're still at $8, so this will drop us below getting any interest, but I think just having a clean and easy way to make it through the early game is going to be crucial. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this Joker. And we'll move on to the next round. I don't want to skip because playing cards usually aren't the best unless you get lucky or you already have a plan in mind for what hands you want. I still am kind of not sure. It looks like I'm leaning towards full houses here, but I really don't have a super big plan in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and play. Keep in mind this is back on white stake difficulty, so we still are going to get money from beating the small blinds, as opposed to the last one we just did on red stake difficulty, where we would have gotten less money from playing this. If I was in a red stake difficulty, it's very possible I might have chosen to skip here, just because we weren't getting much money out of it. I think the best course of action here is to maybe try for a straight, but hedge our bets by keeping the second 9. We also want to try to play a face card if we can in our hand. We found a third 9, which is quite good. Now we just need a pair of another. We already have thrown away a 3 and a 5, so we definitely don't want to keep those, and probably not the 10 either. Because ideally we'd get a jack and we'd be able to double it, but we could do something like this discard would be good, and we just need to look for a jack here. 1 discard remaining. I think we're just doubling down on the full house idea. If we get a jack here, we're looking good. We did indeed get a jack, so we should be able to win the round with this single hand. Yep, easily. Again, one of the things that I keep in mind is that you get benefit from having extra hands left over. You don't get benefit from having extra discards left over. So I try to use up my discards as much as possible so that I get more money. So we're at $9 right now. If I spend any more than $4 in this shop, I will be down back to, again, no interest. And all of the things that I would really want to buy are indeed more than $5. So instead, I will buy none of it, and we'll see how we do going into the next round. I am going to play against this one as well. I just need to build up my money as best as possible here, because again, I'm still not looking great in terms of interest. I do have a chance here to play a straight, which I think I will take. It doesn't win the round outright, which is maybe an idea, maybe a reason to not try for just a straight. But I think we're gonna have to use, well, then again, if I just play a face card, okay, I'll try for a jack here. So I'll keep the 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll try to find a single jack, and then maybe we'll play the straights. Yeah, I think this is better than trying to go for a full house here, because we still get the double. And we don't have to bank on a full house. And the full house has the same multiplier, it's just 10 extra chips, so I think this is perfectly adequate to win the round. So we'll do this. I do think that full house is probably more consistent than straights if I end up adding cards to my deck. Obviously, just to start out, straight is easier to make, hence why it's lower down than full house on the score. But if you build around a full house, I mean, it's all it takes is adding a few extra copies of a certain value of card, and you're well on your way. Straight's a little harder to kind of formulate your deck around. All cards are considered face cards. This can be a build-around joker. It works well with the photograph joker, sorry. In that, it'll just always mean that I get ×2 multiplier when playing any card. But it can work well with a lot of other jokers as well. So I think I will go ahead and grab this. But that's all I'm going to buy. Because again, I'm at $12. If I spend more than $2, I'm going to drop below getting extra interest money. There is a scary prospect coming up here, which is that my next boss is going to give me 0 discards, which means I'm just going to have to play whatever I'm dealt. And I only have 4 hands still, which means there's a high likelihood of running into bad luck and not being able to get to 1600. Hence why I think this is a good insurance policy, where I will always get a ×2 multiplier because of every card being a face card. So we shouldn't have any problems here, but I guess we'll see. I'll just cross my fingers on this one. Okay, 0 discards. We do start with a pair of 9s. We also start with a straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And likewise with before, I could try to discard. Sorry, I can't discard because I have no discards, but I could try to dig for a jack. But again, every card is a face card, meaning that I still am going to get my photograph bonus just by playing some number cards here. So we should still be good. Similar to how we won our last round. I think we are in the clear here for this round, right? Yes, okay, we're good on beating boss number 2. moving on to the shop here. We're gonna get $2 of interest and $3 from hands remaining, so 15, or sorry, 10 rather. So 5 for the boss, 3 for the 3 hands remaining, 2 from the interest. This is quite good. Clearance sale, I think, is one of the better vouchers we could find because, again, we're playing a deck where our only bonus is starting with a bunch of vouchers that increase our shop equity. So making our shop cost less seems to be quite a good option. Well, what do we have here? Okay, this is interesting. A negative joker that gives us extra multiplier if we play a straight. We have been playing straights for the last couple of hands here, so this could prove to be useful, and it's a negative, which means it doesn't count for one of our 5 jokers. Or it does, but it just increases our joker cap to 6. So essentially it doesn't count. I would say this is probably a good move here, especially if we are going to play more straights in the future. I'm going to buy this, and we will go ahead and move on to the next round. Our upcoming boss is the one I dislike. It decreases our level of our poker hand played. The good news so far is that we're still at level 1, and as far as I remember, it actually cannot decrease it to below level 1. There's no level 0. Meaning that if we're able to beat it on solely, joker bonuses alone, and not have to rely on leveling up our hands yet, then it actually basically has no effect at all. Meaning we're actually not going to want to use our skip here, because getting the Celestial Pack will let us level up the things, and then we'll go to the boss, and the boss will immediately level them down. So we definitely do not want to use this skip. This skip, on the other hand, gives us $4, which, if we beat it, we get a little bit more than $4, probably closer to 7. So I think we're just going to go ahead and play it. Once again, we do have the Crazy Joker, which incentivizes us to go for straights, but that doesn't mean we have to go for straights. We still have plenty good multiplier bonuses here for just going for literally any hand that has decent multipliers. So full house, straight, even flush would be perfectly acceptable. Straight does seem to be the one that it's kind of leaning towards, although this is also a full house setup. So I'm going to discard these 3 and just hedge my bets a little bit. See what we're left with. We did end up getting the full house, which we will play. Alrighty. And that should be plenty to get 2,000. It sure is. Okay. So we get our $7 for beating that round. And like I said, we're going to play the next blind as well, because we want to avoid upgrading our levels, because our boss that's upcoming will decrease the levels if they've been upgraded at all. So it basically does nothing for us to upgrade our poker hand levels yet. This is interesting. This gives me $4 at the end of each round. That seems good enough. I think I'm going to buy that. I'm also going to, I think, buy this, just so we have an even higher chance of winning with a single hand. And we'll get to the next round. Immediately play against the blind. Once again, we're presented with kind of an awkward hand. We have a single pair of 10s. We can also see that there's maybe a straight in here, so we can discard something like this, 5, 6, and we get a 7 and a 9 or something along these lines, or maybe a 4 and a 7. We can definitely also get a straight. Get a jack, and we have a pair of 4s now. Certainly interesting. I think this is leaning us more towards than a full house of 4 and 10s, as opposed to hoping for a 9 and a 7. So that's what we'll go for. Didn't get there on that. We have 1 discard left. I would say probably better just to double down on it. something like this. We don't get there on the 7 or the 10, which means without any discards left, we're just going to have to play what we got, which is very unfortunate because really, now we just need an 8. We need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so we could just try something like this, play a pair of 10s, and hope to draw one of our 3 remaining 8s. I think that's probably our best chance to win this with only 2 hands. Otherwise, we're kind of in big trouble. Okay, let's just do this. I feel as though... Ooh, we still didn't get an 8. I was about to say, I feel as though we have a good chance of hitting it here, but we can still do the same thing. We can just do a pair of 3s. Like this, and we still are just banking on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I guess also works now that I'm thinking about it. We don't have the... I don't think this works. So just this first played face card. Maybe that means per hand? I don't know. What I'm going to do here is just to kind of ensure that we get enough points to beat this in one hand. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my Empress on the 6-7 here. I think this is probably the best move, despite the fact that usually you want to save that for more high chip cards. I think just making sure that we get to 3,000 with this hand is probably better overall. Barely got there because our misprint Joker gave us a 0 as its random amount, but still got there just barely. We got our $4 extra from the Golden Joker, and we are at $17. Interesting that we have this Ballot Joker because it says it retriggers the first played card. I would take that to mean that we'd get even more benefit from the photograph Joker, right? Because the first played face card, every first played card is a face card because all cards are face cards, and the first played card is triggered an additional time. I would take it that means that it double multiplies by 2, so it multiplies by 4, the base multiplier, which I think would be pretty worth it for only $3. And keep in mind, this crazy Joker is a negative, so I still have room for one more Joker up there. I think I'm going to go ahead and try this out. This could end up being quite useful. I think I also am going to go ahead and... I can get one of 3 tarot cards or 2 random tarot cards. I think 2 random is better, and it's $1 less. Interesting. I'm actually going to sell this and then immediately use my Arcana pack because I still get to stay at $10. My interest is still going to help me out here. These are not great, honestly. I think this is probably the best one because it gives a multiplier rather than just extra chips, although extra chips can be good. I take it back. I think the Hierophant is actually better. Let's go ahead and give it to these 2. And the Wheel of Fortune is our other tarot card produced by the random tarot card, which is a tarot card that does nothing. Doesn't do anything. I'll demonstrate. Oh my god. This is a momentous day. The Wheel of Fortune did something. The Wheel of Fortune, it says it has a like a 1 in 4 chance to give one of your jokers a random attribute or something like that, right? That's the first time I've ever seen it actually do anything. I swear, 90% of the time, you play it, and then in big letters on the screen it says nope, and then you go about your merry way. This is the first time it's actually done something, and it did something rather powerful. It gave us a +10 multiplier on our photograph by making it holographic. I would say that's extremely useful. I'm very happy with the Wheel of Fortune. That is, like I said, probably one of the best. Well, I mean, it's the only indicator that it works at all, but that is one of the better things it can do. Like I said, the boss is going to try to decrease our level of our poker hands, but they're also level 1, so it basically does nothing. We are still going to try to... oh. Evelyn Cole, thank you for following. Appreciate all the support. Hello, and first time chatter. How are we doing today? Alright, so let us see here. I think we're still probably going to go for a straight if we can get it. We need a, looks like a 7, right? 9, 8, 7, something like that. Let's go all in on the straights. Need like a 7 and then a 5 or a 10, either one. So we have some options here. Didn't find a 7. Didn't find some face cards. Quite interesting. I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. Playing some Balatro today. Just enjoying a little bit of casual poker gameplay. If you haven't checked out this game yet, it's very fun. It's like a roguelike deck builder, but with poker instead of the normal, you know, Slay the Spire type stuff. Still need a 7. I also suppose I could go for like Jack 10, but I think this is better. Yeah, I think it's better. We'll do this. Sorry about that. Alright, I got my 7. We have 1 discard left, and we still have not found a single 5 or a single 10. I think we're still going to be going for the straight here, because I believe it should win in one go, if we end up getting it. 9, 8, 7, 6. Last discard. Come on, 5 or 10. We do get the 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That should be good enough. And... okay, it did. It did give us the double photograph multiplier because of our hanging Jad. That's quite nice. And we destroy that boss, and it basically had no negative effect on us because, again, we did not have any of our poker hands upgraded. I'm playing on PC currently. Yeah, I just downloaded it through Steam, and I've been really enjoying it so far. I've already done one previous stream on it, but even before then, I'd played through the first few decks. Playing cards can now appear in the shop. This is kind of interesting, but again, if we're going for more straights, I think that this is generally ill-advised. I would say probably just want to go for planet cards that increase our level of the straight hand. I think we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next round. Our next boss is one that drains money for each card played, so we're gonna have to worry about how many hands we play into it. Yes, I am fairly new. This is, I believe, the end of my 2nd week of streaming. So we started last Thursday, Thursday through Sunday, and then did this week, Thursday through Sunday. Interesting. 2 jokers is kind of good, but we already have a decent amount of jokers that we're interested in keeping. This one for sure, obviously, but it doesn't really count. This one, I would say, guaranteed needs to stay in combination with this, and I would say, I guess the misprint joker can maybe go. I think I'm better off just playing. This. Oh, nice. What do you stream? Do gaming as well? Queen Jack. So I need like 9, 10, or a 5. Something like this discard. Start with that. Wow, we have 3 jacks. Interesting. I think good to do this. We have a 9 now, so we have 6, 7, 8, 9. We still need a 10, or we still need a 5. So don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, anyone who knows interested in watching some just kind of casual gameplay of different games. Today I'm doing Balatro, but I also have been playing a lot of League, and I've been doing a Dredge playthrough. That one's quite fun, although a little spooky. Oh, nice. Okay. VR, that's cool. I actually do have a VR like setup. I just haven't done any streaming with it yet because I've been it's been a little I guess you could say it's been a little intimidating to try to set it all up, but that does sound like a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna discard the jack here, because if I draw the 10, right, I don't need the jack anyway. I need a 5 or a 10. Dang, okay. I might be in some trouble here. You're gonna have to use multiple hands here. My favorite game, interesting. I would say, well, the game I play the most of is League. But my favorite game is gotta be probably either Hollow Knight. My single player games that I play are definitely my favorite of the games I play. Hollow Knight's pretty up there, I would say. I would say Hollow Knight is, if not my favorite, definitely top 3. 4, dang, okay, I'm gonna have to like something like just play a pair of 3s. This is really rough. I don't like the... What are my odds here? Oh, that's not what I wanted. How do I... Yeah, I still have all of my 10s and all my 5s in the deck. What the heck? Yeah, I can understand if you're also dealing with a pretty big workload, how it'd be hard to set up a several hour period where you can just sit down and stream. I still have not drawn any 5s or 10s. This is wild. I guess I shouldn't have doubled down so hard, tripled down so hard on this. Ah, finally! We have a 10 here. We have Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7. That should probably do it. I would imagine, anyway. Wait, did it do it 3 times there? Oh, it does say 2 additional times. Okay, I didn't read this right the first time. Alright, we had to use 3 of our 4 hands. We did eventually beat the small blind of ante 4. Jeez. I think, what are my vouchers looking like? Extra, interest, and all shop ones. Okay. Because we have the interest capped at 10, I think it's probably better for me to just try to save as much money as possible. So as much as I'd like to buy some of this stuff, I think it's... Then again, I could get lucky here on the Celestial pack. And it would only drop me down 1 interest. Okay, I'll do it. I'll open 1 pack. 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, high card, pair, straights. Perfect, we got lucky. Ah, very nice, very nice. An artist, that's cool. Yeah, I have actually a friend who does art for his living. Although he mostly does he does stuff for like video games and card games. He's had his art in some Magic the Gathering cards, things of that nature. I'm just gonna go to the next round here. This is a rough one too, because it's $1 per card played, so I have to get lucky with the with getting an early straight. I think I'm just gonna play here as well, just so I have as much money as possible going into the boss. Ooh, we have a good start of a straight here. Probably just go for it. I would say Jack 10 is still the one I want to go for. Aha, perfect. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. Perfection. And this should win outright, I think. Especially because my ace is the one being doubled. Oh yeah, double enough, in fact. Not quite double enough. 15,000 would have been double, but very nearly double what we needed. Very nice, very nice. Each face card held in hand has a 1 in 2 chance to give $1. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting. Each face card held in hand. I take it that means held in hand at the end of the round or something? And because all of my cards are face cards, that's probably better than my golden joker, right? Interesting. Yeah, let's do this. Sell the golden joker and get the reserved parking joker in there. See how it works. Okay. And I can spend $2 without actually going below my threshold of interest here. So we'll buy this. And I don't think this is necessary. We'll go to the boss of Ante 4. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I don't actually know as far as any of that goes. I used a at least for my Twitch banner, I just used a Watery Grave image from a card called Watery Grave. I think I just go for a straight here. 10,000 seems very doable if I just get. Let's see what I had last round. I think I had like almost 15,000 last round. Yeah. Okay. So let's just go for. I guess I need a 5 to finish off this straight, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Hopefully, this is enough. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And just to make absolutely sure, I'm going to go ahead and also add a little extra multiplier to these guys. That should basically guarantee it's... Nice. $8 of interest. We should now be over the $50 mark, and we are. So assuming we do not need to spend too much money in this shop, we can start making $10 of interest around. 3 times multiplier if poker hand contains a diamond, club, heart, and spade. This can be quite good, as a straight obviously doesn't require any suits, but it's pretty specific. And I'd have to get rid of one of my already existing jokers that seem to be doing pretty well. I think I'm... Actually, I should look at the next round just in case. I'll go ahead and start into the next round first. Free uncommon joker or $10. Free uncommon joker could be good. Definitely could be. I'll skip for a free uncommon joker just to see what it is. Not too unhappy with the free uncommon joker, even if it's not a great one. Yeah, I guess I really haven't given too much thought to the as you say, more of the aesthetic stuff of the channel. I'm sure that is very important as I move forward, certainly. I think just going for an 8 here. Ooh, got a 10 instead. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wow, I've drawn almost an entire different straight while looking for my singular 8. How many queens do I have left? Okay, let's go for that instead then, I guess. King, queen, jack, 10. I need the 9 still. Last discard. Give me a queen. Nice. King, queen, jack, 10, 9. Not too bad. Oh, I didn't. Actually. Ooh. Dang, I should have been more cognizant of how many points that was going to get me. Oh well. One extra hand won't end the world. Just stinks we're losing $1 there, basically. Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily actively looking for improvement on that, but I certainly will be looking into it more myself. But I mean, if you're around and you're chilling in the chat sometimes, I guess I can't rule out the possibility that I'd call on some help from you at a later date. I don't think I even need a straight anymore, so long as I just have a decently scoring hand. Perhaps I should not go for a second straight. I still have 4 8s in the deck. 2 9s. Yeah, okay. Let's discard something like... I don't know. I guess I could go for 3 of a kind for the 4s. Nice. Glad to hear it. Oh, I don't have any discards left, I just realized. Yeah. I guess I'm just doing a pair of 4s then. Wait, I don't have a... No, I'm one away from a flush. Dang it. Okay. I guess we're just doing... pair of 4s? Yikes. Ace, king... Queen, jack... Yeah, something like pair of 4s. Wow, this turned around fast. Luckily, I think it's probably fine since my photograph joker's insane. Yeah, I do have Discord. Yeah, I've already had a few people talk to me about looking at portfolios, so and it's not that I'm like super against that right now, it's just that I'm really not like super in the market for it at this time. As I say, I most likely will be looking into fixing a lot of the visual aspects of the stream. That's just kind of not exactly where I'm at right now. This is really interesting. Retrigger the first card. Wait, retrigger first played card in scoring 2 additional times. Retrigger all played face cards. All cards are face cards. Okay, this seems to all work together pretty well. I'm gonna discard this, I guess, since my gold seems to be in a decent spot. And this seems to be really good for what I have going on here. I think this could be good. I'm at $76. Still don't really want this voucher. Coming up on the next boss, I should probably... I could reroll to find a planet card if I really need to, but I think I'm probably more likely to get what I need from some packs here than just trying to randomly reroll into it. And in fact, they're probably better off skipped than taken at all, so that's unfortunate. We kind of wasted a pack there. Yeah, I honestly, I have heard that a lot, that new streamers often get a lot of offers and things for people who are basically just out to scam them. I've been trying to give people the benefit of the doubt as much as I can as well. I don't like yeah, no, I'm not even saying that I appreciate that you're saying that, but I actually had someone recommend that I join a Discord that was kind of like a new streamers Discord, and and so I mean I was like I'll do it. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing thus far, right? I've never streamed before, so it's better just to do, I feel like, as much as I can to get out there, or at least that's what I was thinking at the time. But since I joined that Discord, I've gotten like so many erroneous friend requests and messages and people jumping into the stream to spam and chat, and I don't know. I'm sure it's all part of the process, but I do regret it a little bit. Are these not the same? Destroy one random card in your hand, add 4 random enhanced number cards. Destroy 1 random card in your hand, add 2 random enhanced aces. Oh, okay, gotcha. Add a red seal to 1 selected card in your hand? I guess this is probably the best one. I don't really see how this is different. Yeah, I appreciate that. I honestly, I feel like that's the best thing I can do right now is just kind of take my time, ease myself into it. It's it definitely is a big world of I mean, with all sorts of stuff you can do, right? There's a million different ways to go about it, million different ways to put yourself out there. I'm kind of starting even more from scratch than maybe some people do because I'm not really on any social media. I've tried to avoid it in the past, so I didn't have necessarily like a jumping off point to say. I think this is where I'm gonna be at. Red seal on the 7. Yeah, seems decent. Red seal on the 7 seems decent. I will reroll once here. Okay, fine. I'll take this, but I'll hold on to it. No more rerolls though. Let's jump into the boss. See what we're working with. Discard 2 random cards per hand played is not that bad, considering I'm imagining only 1 or 2 hands is all it's going to take to take down this boss. I think, considering all my cards are triggered twice, because they're all face cards, and the first one multiplies by 2 a bunch, and it multiplies by 2 many times, I think that this alone is probably enough to just outright win with a single hand if it's a straight, but I don't even really need to go for a straight. I can just like play a couple decent scoring hands and we should be good to go, I'm imagining. It's just like I gotta just keep saying again. It says again twice, this is again, and oh my, so many visual effects happening for not even that impressive of a score. Just a lot of triggers. I get another full house though. This is probably enough to win, I imagine then, right? If that first one got me 14,000, second full house certainly will get me enough to win. Wow, I've almost played more full houses than I have straights at this point. This is kind of crazy. Good. Again, with the trillion things happening. Okay, good. Got there. Where are we at? That's anti-5 complete. Very good. Very good. $10 of interest. still don't really want this voucher, honestly. It keeps, I think this is the same voucher it's offered me like 3 antes in a row. It's kind of crazy. Gotcha, yeah. I think that's really really good that you're willing to kind of show people what they're getting before they get into it. I think I'm just gonna go for the... Okay, we did get lucky, got this straight. I don't think any of these other hands are super likely to matter. Straight flush, I guess, sure, why not? Make it even more absurd than it already is. Retrigger all card held in hand abilities. No. I'll reroll. Okay, this just gives me money, I guess. Use that. Oh, I probably should have... Yeah, it's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. As soon as I used the Saturn card, I should have used the Fool card to make another Saturn card. Oof. I was not paying attention. Okay. We all get lucky. Oh my god! Thank you! Thank you! Alright, we got lucky. That was a gift. I didn't deserve that. Now I can use the Fool card to make another Saturn card. Okay. It was a mistake, but we came back. We recovered. I think that is probably enough for your rolling. Maybe one more. Got one more in there. Okay, next round. Next boss, anti-6 boss, is extra large blind. 80,000 chips to beat. Not too bad if we have better scaling going on. We did upgrade like 3 times there, so our scaling should be significantly better than it was last round. Common jokers don't really interest me, so we're just going to play the blind. We almost have a straight... Oh, we do have a straight right off the bat. Jack, 10, queen... Or sorry, Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7. So we actually have a straight flush as well. That's crazy. What are we at? 140 times 12 versus 150 times 16. I think because of our multipliers, the higher multiplier is going to be way better in the long run anyway. So we'll do the non-flush straight. It's kind of crazy that our straight is so upgraded that it's actually better than just playing a straight flush, which is in all intents and purposes a much better hand. But wow, this is already getting crazy. How many times things are triggering? Oh my god, oh my god, this keeps going. Already at 120,000 chips. Very decent. I would say that's pretty happy with the scaling we're seeing. Do I like horror games? That's an interesting question. I generally do not like horror games. However, I am not opposed to playing them. Currently on stream I've been playing Dredge, which is a kind of horror game, right? But it's in a more, in my opinion, a more eased into sense than some horror games. You know, no like big jump scares or anything. Just kind of a creepy, eerie vibe to the whole game, and I'm gonna take none of these. And overall, I mean, there are monsters that will chase you eventually, but even in the whole first area, it's just kind of a creepy vibe. There's no like active monster chasing you down or anything. None of these. Plus 18 multiplier. What is this? This is 10 plus the random. So this means that it's basically just taking the random out of it and making it plus 8. Is plus... I don't even know what this goes between. I imagine 8 is better than the average of this thing? I really don't know. Let's try it. So worst that could happen. Throw the abstract joker in there over the misprint joker. I think 8 is close to the average of the misprint, or the whatever the one I just sold was anyway, so basically no difference there. One more reroll, and then Ooh, interesting, a rare joker. Gains multiplier for each card sold. Resets when boss fight is defeated, though. That's unfortunate. Okay. We'll just move on. I don't really need to fight this, but because our interest is 10, we get so much money from fighting it, we might as well. Jack, 10, 9. Ooh, no. No straight right off the bat. We have a very close to a straight here. Let's just discard. We get an 8, 9, 10, Jack. 7 or green is necessary. And we get a 7. And that should do it. It actually is going to be very important to have enhanced cards in this run because most of our extra bonuses and chip values are coming from triggering the cards a bunch of times. So having these little bonuses on the cards is overall going to be a much better way to scale than a lot of the other methods. Alright, we get our $17. Adds the number of poker times poker hand has been played. Currently, if we play a straight, we're looking at 11 multiplier, which is not as good as the abstract joker. We could play more straights enough to the point where that would be more than 18, but I think it's probably better just to have the upfront be higher. I don't think waiting for the other joker to catch up is gonna be helpful. I think I'm just gonna reroll it. Another misprint joker. This one's not holographic though, so it's much worse than our abstract joker. At least when it was holographic, it was like you could argue that it was basically just as good. I don't even want to bother with the reroll. I think that extra Saturn card is going to be plenty to ensure that kind of no matter what straight we get, it's enough to beat this blind in 1 or 2 hands. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play a line or a straight right off the bat, and I think that should probably be good enough. Ooh. We're at, let's see, 2 hours 52 minutes into the stream. I'm planning to stream for 3 hours. It's gonna work out good because I actually gotta use the restroom soon anyway. So we'll play the end of this run and probably call it a day there. Ante 7 of 8 coming up. Already our scaling is quite good. Like I said, most of the way we're gonna try to scale now is just kind of add more enhancements to our cards. Go ahead and use another one of these. Even more overstock. Now we get 4 options of cards. And played face cards give 30 chips when scored. This is another very potent way of adding to our multipliers because all of our cards are face cards. So all of our cards give plus 30 chips when scored. And all of them trigger extra time. So all of them give really 60 when scored. And the first one gives even more when scored, so I think this is going to be pretty instrumental. I think this is much better than our just plus 18 multiplier from the abstract joker. I'd have to say plus 60 chips per card has got to be better, right? That's just like so many extra chips. It seems to be better, I would say. I can't be certain, but it seems to be a significant increase in our chip output. And let's look at our upcoming boss. We have the Mouth. Play only one hand type this round. That's perfect because we only want to play one hand type. We only want to play straights. Let's reroll this shop once just to see if we can get another Saturn card. Sorry, not Saturn. No, yeah, no, Saturn is the right one. And we didn't. We'll move on. This gives free stuff in the next shop. This gives extra money. I think we'll skip this one, play this one. just having a full free shop to peruse is really good when we have four. We already have, you know, both vouchers that increase card options. No straight in the opening hand. We do have 4, 5, 7, which can lead us to something of a straight, something like an 8. An 8 does do it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's perfect. And there should be more than enough to beat the 52,000 required. So yeah, so the face card is getting plus, yeah, each single card is giving plus 60 chips, and then the first one is giving an extra even 60 above that. So yeah, our chip values are just gonna go out of control now. Already approaching 300,000 chips per hand. We are fast approaching the ability to outscale basically any boss. Our entire shop is free now. We have, let's see here, a holographic Joker that works with 2 pair, not great. Jupiter, not great. Again, a Joker with 2 pair. Is this the same Joker? Oh no, one is chips, one is multiplier, okay. And this one is consecutive hands played without a face card, which is useless because all of our cards are face cards. So I would say this is probably one of the worst shops to see get entirely free. I might as well open the packs though, since they're free to open, and we can always skip them if we don't want to take anything. Like so. Open this one too, why not? It's entirely possible we skip this pack as well. I mean, this one does have some bonuses on it, but it's a 4? It's not like the worst, but it's certainly not anything special. I'll go ahead and take it. I'll go ahead and take it because 4 does go into several straights, right? It's not right on the edge. It's kind of in the middle. It can go into several different types of straights. We'll go ahead and take it. It is disappointing though to see this array of stuff I can't use. I'll reroll. Each played Jack of Hearts gives ×2 multiplier when scored. Specific card changes each round. No, thank you. Alright, let's see if the Wheel of Fortune can work twice in a row. Two Wheel of Fortunes in a row! Plus 50 chips from the Sock and Buskin. That's insane. I've never seen that card ever work, and it just worked twice in the same run. That's insanity. Alright, and we'll do one more reroll just to see. ×3 multiplier if hand contains a straight. That is the best rare Joker we could have possibly found. And we found a Saturn. Wow, okay. We are kind of cooking now. That is really, really good. This is... that was the best possible reroll to get. We need this. We need to sell one of our other Jokers. Can't be this because this is a negative Joker. So we need to sell one of these other Jokers that is taking up spots here. Although they're all really good with what we have, right? Retrigger are all face cards. All cards are face cards. Face cards give extra chips. Face cards. The first face card gives ×2 multiplier when scored, which triggers a bunch of times. This one is retrigger the first played card 2 additional times. It's just, it all works together really well. Where do I put this in? Okay. This is actually a really tough decision. I think... No, this multiplier is too solid. I would say definitely this needs to stay, because retriggering all my cards is just really good, especially when I have a bunch of extra bonuses on the cards. All cards are face cards is imperative to all the other Jokers working. So I would say it has to be either Scary Face or Hanging Chad. Has to go. Photograph also has to stay because it's going to give a larger multiplier for this Joker to then triple. I'm leaning towards the Scary Face going, which stinks because having a bunch of extra trips is nice, but this is just going to be insane. If we get any straight, it's basically like I don't know, I guess we'll see. We'll see how many points we get from it. But I just am imagining already that one straight is going to be approaching, I feel like 500,000, if not closer to 1,000,000 points. We have close to a straight in the opener. We have Jack 10, 9. We also have 5, 6. I think we're going to rely more on the Jack 10, 9 here. We get another Jack, another 10, another 9, but no 8s. So we need 7, 8, 9, 10 Jacks, so we'll discard everything that isn't necessary for that, and hope for an 8. There's the 8. Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, and we have 2 bonuses that are going, and the first card's again. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just see. We'll just see what happens. Over 500,000. Okay. Okay. We take those. Yeah, this card's insane. That is going to be insane. I mean, we're on ante 8. We're on the last ante of the run. I can't imagine anything that's gonna be too troubling. One random Joker disabled every round. This can be troubling if it disables the one that turns all our cards into face cards, because then most of our other Jokers don't work, but that's only 1 in 6 chance, so I don't think it's going to be too... Can we get 3 Wheel of Fortunes in a row? There's no way. No, okay. We got 2 in a row. It was too much to think we'd get 3 in a row. That's okay, though. Alright. I think we're just going to go for some rerolls here. See what kind of stuff we can get. Played face cards have a 1 in 2 chance to give money. This would have been good earlier, but we don't really need it anymore. Maybe 1 more reroll here. And, ooh, double money of up to $20. That is definitely good. Back up to $70. I would say probably good to move on, though. Nothing more we can get. Adds a voucher, creates 2 common jokers. Definitely don't want that, so we'll play against this one. I might want a voucher. Although I think just playing here is better, because we're almost guaranteed to win every round, and we're almost guaranteed to have a ton of money to spend in the shop every round. So I think our best course of action here is just to 8, 9, 10. Best course of action here is just to play every last round that we can, because it's basically a guaranteed win, as long as we just don't scale very well into the last boss. But again, as we saw, it's pretty impossible for us to not win in a single hand, unless of course our one very crucial joker gets turned off by the boss. But that's a 1 in 6 chance, so we should be good. Also, it's a 1 in 6 chance, and then I play a hand that immediately chooses a new joker to turn off. So even if it were the case that it turns off our crucial joker, it seems like it would still be fine. Create a tarot card. If poker hand contains an ace and a straight. This is also a one that I would have liked to have earlier, but again, at this point, not very crucial. We get another Saturn card. I think just re-rolling into more Saturn cards is really the only thing we can do. There's nothing else. There's another one. There's nothing else that we can do to scale our deck any further. In fact, I might even just buy this to make our tarot cards even more likely to appear in shops, because we don't want jokers to appear. We don't need more jokers. We just need more tarot cards and more planning cards. One more reroll here. Okay. One more wheel. Come on, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. You know what? That's fine. We won 2, we lost 2 this run. That's still a decent Wheel of Fortune, right? It's supposed to be a 1 in 4, but we have a 50% win rate this run. Oh, we don't have a 10 yet. Hang on. Still no 10. Still no 10. Where's the 10? No, seriously. Alright, we gotta play a 3 of a kind here just to get some... Actually, I don't want to play 3 of a kind because I don't have an ace for the when I finally draw my 10. We'll do something along these lines. Alright. It is definitely not great that we have to use extra hands here, but it's only one extra hand, so I guess I'll forgive it. Not too bad. Ooh. We're running a little bit over on time, but that's okay. We're just gonna finish this run. We got one more round to play, and then I will go ahead and sign off for today. Wow, that was a lot. Jeez. Alright, snag another 16 bucks, and again we're going to the last round, so we're just going to spend all the money we can. We're going to pack here, hopefully get a Saturn. No Saturn. Create 2 random tarot cards, sure, why not. We get this one we can sell, and this one we can hold on to for the last round. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. We just reroll all the way down. Interesting that we can make a wild card. That doesn't really matter. We can buy this and hold on to it. Reroll again. Face cards, nice. 2 planet cards. This is interesting, but we kind of want to hold on to these, so we're not going to do this. Steel card could be good. Steel card's probably better even than the higher. Actually, no, these trigger a bunch of extra times. These are probably the best ones to hold on to. So we'll just reroll for more Saturns if we can get them. Uncommon jokers each give an extra multiplier. That doesn't matter for us. Okay, more. And again. There's our Saturn. Get at least one more. We're up to level 10 on our straights. And might as well just keep rolling down. Maybe we get lucky and get one more Saturn. Nope, no such luck. Okay, next round. And in fact, the last round of the run. Our random joker that is not working. All abilities are disabled for the Sock and Buskin, which is unfortunate because that's the one that doubles up everything. So we're gonna have to play probably 2 straights in order to beat this particular boss, but that shouldn't be a problem so long as we play it in such a way that we have the ability to play at least 2 straights this run. I would say because we have 9 and 7, an ace and king, 9, 7 are probably the easiest ways to start constructing a straight. So let's discard everything that's not essential to this straight. And we get lucky here. We have an 8, not 7, 8, 9. We have a queen, king. We need a 10, 6, 10, jack, something along these lines. We're still kind of struggling here, though. This is not great. It is conceivable that we could lose here if we don't find a straight. We still haven't found a... Oh, no, we did find a straight because we have a 6. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think just to be... Maybe I should wait until something else is disabled. No, I'm just going to go ahead and blow it now. So we're going to go... These 2 can have extra multipliers, and the other 2 can have extra chips. So this should get us close to the 100,000, if not there already, and then we only need one more straight after, and we should be there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is so much enough. Because we haven't even gotten to the ×3 yet. Whew. Nice! Imagine if that last joker hadn't been turned off, we would have had way more than enough. We might have even gotten close to another 1 million off of one hand, so Very, very nice. Well, we had 3 successful runs today. We got through 2 runs on the checkered deck, both in white stake and red stake. We might check out green stake on the checkered deck next time if we revisit this game. And we also got to check out the Zodiac deck on white stake. So I enjoyed my time in Balatro once again. I really enjoy this game. I think it's a ton of fun. I hope you guys all did as well. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. We did go over by about 10 minutes, but not too bad overall. Usually, I was kind of expecting us to go over just by a little bit because typically a run lasts about an hour, and but I wanted to explain kind of stuff that was going on as I was doing it, so I figured if we did 3 runs, we'd be going just about over 3 hours. So not too unhappy with that. Like I said, I may or may not be doing this game again next week. Certainly I will be streaming still the same times, same days, so next week is going to be same schedule as this week. That is to say Thursday through Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless anything changes on the schedule, assume that we're still doing League Thursday, Dredge Saturday, let me rephrase. League Thursday, Dredge Friday, League Saturday, and then some variety content here on Sunday. That being said, I appreciate everyone again for showing up or watching the VOD after the fact. And if you wanted to see any of my older VODs that have already from older streams that have happened that are no longer on the Twitch channel, I do have a YouTube channel linked also that I'm uploading all the VODs to there. So yeah, thank you all for showing up. Have a good one.